Caradak. Biting puppy. That's not Caradak the biting puppy.
Caradak the biting puppy.
That's a different scenario. Different rise of the biting puppy.
We now all look like Madonna.
Yep, we're voguing.
Or is it NSYNC?
Whatever works.
Depends on your age bracket. I don't think I'm voguing.
Are we the Cortex Boys?
Cortex boys. I don't know about that.
No. Yeah, so hopefully you can hear us. For those of you that are currently watching us, which is millions of you.
At least one of the millions, put your fingers on it so you can hear us. Anyone?
Because otherwise we're going live.
Yeah.
We are live and we're going to continue. Yeah, so before we start, I want to do a couple of shout-outs. Well, just a shout-out. I don't know if you've got anybody that you want to particularly bring up for the RP side of things. Any names? Or
Just
but I can go on. I can go forwards if needs be. I don't know. We don't have to.
Vlogs,
I kind of threw it at you here.
You didn't.
There was no warning at all. And you said, of course, that you had two very important people you want to know.
Yeah, that's right.
Did
Yeah.
That's one to thank.
I'm thinking no one.
You've thrown me right under the bus there.
Yeah. What?
So I want to start off with, you'll see above us, right above now, floating, eventually at some point, 77 studios.
Oh,
nice. Harmonies.
yeah! Look at this,
I like
harmonizing already. We're getting into this.
So 77 Studios. Who is 77 Studios? It is a freelance concept design, illustration, graphic design, and more. Brought to you by Devil Monkey of devilmonkey77 at gmail.com. You can see over that way, above your head. You can see that he has a Twitter account, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter account is at devilmonkey77. Facebook, do a search for 77 Studios for his page. And Instagram is at devilmonkey77. So 77 Studios published. They have a game. It's a movie night game. It's free form, very good. We've play tested it, and though obviously we didn't record, this was before the Cortex Group went live. It's a great game, fantastic entertainment for the family. Nothing dark per se about it. It was designed and tested around kids, and yeah. So Studios, 77 Studios. He's a great artist. There's his contact details. Check him out. For any of your art deals, anything that you need, get in touch with him directly. Does some great artwork, and we're going to be making sure that we get some of his work up on our page and help him move forward. You know, support him like we all do as Nevin and Talbot like to push forward. That we're there for each other. This is all about the community, and yeah. So we're spot going forward as 77 Studios. Great artist. Please check him out, support him, and. For yourselves, if you need any bit of artwork, get in touch with him directly. He's fantastic. Can't support him enough, known him a long time. But yeah, so I'll leave that up there for a moment or two. We've already got some contact. We've got Casino Contact. Good afternoon to the Cortex Room. Hi, good afternoon to yourself. Thanks for the contact straight away.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, hopefully you can hear us.
Can you hear us all right?
Hopefully there's not a massive delay as well, like we've experienced in the past. We experienced some delays yesterday. A good, I think it was like a minute or so. Hopefully not when it comes to the RP. So today is, for those viewers that are on at the moment, in case you've been watching us on Xbox, that's our week time. We have been advertising that on Sundays we're doing RP. This is episode 6, Rise of an Empire. No dice, no rules. It's based on the Warhammer world. Fantastic, thanks. They've confirmed they can hear us.
Fantastic, thank you.
So yeah, basically what is Rise of an Empire? Rise of an Empire is, for those that know the Warhammer world, don't turn off if you don't or you don't like it. It's 2,500 years before canon made the rules system. So it's before, the 1980s version, second, third and fourth. Fourth is due out now, PDF. Check it out, we might review it at some point. So we're not against rules. Definitely love fluff for a world, but what we don't like to do is when we say we like the rules, we like the rule books. They're pretty.
I like the mythos. You know,
yeah.
that's that sort of stuff. That's what rule books should be for. Setting the scene, getting everyone involved in the mythos, giving you an idea of dynamics in terms of like hierarchies, who's what and where. That's great. But what we don't like is the stopping the free flow to pour through spreadsheets and become an accountant on the side.
Yeah, so I mean, basically what you'll see is the guys have in front of them, they have a bit of, they have a notebook, they've got some information there. They've got an idea of who the character is. This has been discussed and agreed between themselves and the GM, myself, in this current situation. So they know their pros, their cons, their basic sort of abilities, whether it be in melee, combat, educated or learned. And the idea is basically that it's almost like a light CV. Now, because we don't use dice, the point is being that the way that the game is designed is that the GM, in this case myself, has a story to tell with these characters. Now, there is still risk. If the players decide that they're going to do something silly or stupid that will cause them to be hurt, harmed or killed, they will be hurt, harmed and killed. The idea basically is that it'll be to push the story along, and it's up to the GM to be quick to realise that they put themselves in a situation they're not getting out of, but fast thinking and good role play might still let them survive. It's up to the GM if they want them to survive. But of course, because it's not dice, it's not hit points, it's not rolling. If you're a good swordsman, if you're a good bowman, you're going to hit. The situation arises. You're allowed to feel epic. The storyline allows for that. Without putting in that randomness. You know, we're supposed to be mature enough to be able to actually sort of tell the story together. That's where it all came from. So it sounds a bit weird. Worry about that side of things. You'll see how it goes. We've got old content there, but basically the time frame. So yeah, it's 2,500 years before canon. So it's roughly just before the birth of Sigma. We have the Semnothei, who are the sort of religious rulers of the tribes. They've found themselves in a position where they talk to the gods. These are your magic users, your divine users. Before the humans knew what the winds of magic were, that sort of thing, and they've brought the tribes through to the Reich Basin, away from the Green Hordes to the south and east. That's canon. The Semnothei aren't. So the story is about how the Semnothei and their guardians, the Vaktori, how they, such a big part in human prehistory, proto-history, how they are no longer talked about. By the time Sigma comes along, you've got the well-known story to those that do know the mythos of Sigma. How do they fit into that? Why is canon not mentioned the Semnothei and the Vaktori?
Written out of history for some.
Written out of history. And that's the story, that's the journey that we're on. What happened to this powerful group? Where did they go? Why does nobody talk about them? And if you've seen any of the other stuff, yeah, in other words, doing it, Albert. If you've seen any of our pre-videos, you will notice that the Semnothei are powerful magic users. In this case, we have Ulmakor, played by Nevin. Very powerful, amoral. They'll come across as evil. Some will be classic, you know, in that sense. They come as long as what they're not is that they aren't. They're just they're power for the sake of power, and people are a tool. They're a cattle to be dealt with. And you've got the Vaktori. They are brainwashed. I know that we've touched on sort of like calling them slaves, and they're not slaves in the traditional sense of they'll do what they're told, but they're warriors. They have no rights, but they're not bred to have rights. In a similarity, I suppose, you could really, to break the fourth wall and talk about other things, you know, they are like, I suppose, any mythos that's got the sort of brainwashed elite warriors, whether it be you want to look at, you know, Game of Thrones, and you want to look at the Unsullied, you know, there is similarity to that. They're not, in the sense of they're not, you know, the Vaktori haven't been cut. They don't kill puppies, and you know, it's not like that. They know fear. You know, you can look at the 40k version of Astartes. They are basically an elite warrior class. They are taken at birth from the tribes. They don't know their past. They don't know their background, and they know nothing other than servitude to the Semnothei, who talk to the gods, and therefore it's a privileged position. So, again, not evil, but they will appear to be evil. You know, these two characters do appear to be evil to the common man, but they're not. You know, they're just amoral. They've got their own path to lead, and I suppose willing to do what they have to.
Their moral compass is not aligned to what we would ascribe as someone in the modern times. They don't have that, but they'll do whatever. Vaktori will do it, whatever the Semnothei say to what the Semnothei need them to do, and they'll just do it, and it'll be brutal and efficient. And the Semnothei themselves, as Kane already alluded to, it's not that they've got evil intent towards humans and the tribes of man. Just don't really look at them as people. They look at them as pawns and chess. They look at them as how they can control them. They've got their own agenda, and it's not necessarily it doesn't take into account any one individual human being. It just, you're part of a tribe, therefore what can the tribe do for you?
Yeah.
From the purpose of a Semnothei. So they'll do things that you just go, oh, that can't be right. Semnothei is no problem. It's the gods telling them to do it.
So that's it, because I've noticed that we've got a fair few viewers, and we need to do a recap on where we are in case you haven't seen any of our older content. So please check it out, Twitch. I don't know if the rest of you have been having some similar problems to us. I'm having problems uploading some of our edited recordings back into Twitch. It comes up as an error at this moment in time, so I'm working on that. I don't think it's our account per se. I think it's across other people are suffering it. So we've made sure that a lot of stuff is gone, unfortunately, from our point of view. We'd like to make sure that it's on Twitch and YouTube, but we can't get it up onto Twitch at this moment. So we are trying. However, YouTube is up to date.
Yeah, that's the one.
So you've got the first 5 episodes are there. Please watch them. Skim through them at least, and have a look. Other than that, so yeah, we've done that. We've done the check. Before we start, another warning, heads up. We have several furry people running around the place. I don't mean people in the sense of guys that need a shave.
Small hobbits.
We have several cats and a border collie, 8 weeks old. The border collie is currently unconscious at the other end of the room. Any one of them might suddenly go a bit mental, so if you do hear weird, strange noises, this week only, we have a bit of difficulty with this. If you suddenly start seeing us freaking out and looking to left and right or hearing weird barking sounds, we will react to it as best as we can, stay in character, but we might need to deal with something. Now and then the cat jumps up on the table, for example.
Now and then, yes.
Yeah. So, with that said and done, as you will note above our head, once I've got rid of these adverts, so above us you will see our disclaimer. Once we start, we will not be interacting with the chat. Talk to each other by all means. That would be great. Do comment on that. I will be aware of it and I'll address anything in 2 hours' time when the game is over. But for the time being, we're not going to be interacting with you. That is nothing personal. We love you. Thank you very much for your support. But obviously, we want to stay in character. So the disclaimer will stay above. Please don't ignore it. And anybody comes in and sends a shout out, you could police for us. That would be great because we don't have any moderators sitting here.
No. And it's not personal. It's not that we don't want people to talk to us. In fact, we're more than happy at the end of the session to answer any questions and get involved in chat. But hard enough maintaining this, or it's more fun to maintain it. And then
Absolutely,
if you have to keep on breaking
it's for
it,
your viewing pleasure as well, because ultimately we want to stay in character, don't want to break from it, and to get truly immersed into the story. And hopefully you can feel the same and be part of the story as we are. So yeah, no hard feelings.
Yeah, exactly. We're not ignoring you.
No, we're not.
Well, we are actually ignoring you. That specifically is talk.
Technically, we are ignoring you.
Yeah,
but not permanently.
Not in a nasty way.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, right. What happened last week? Right. Okay. So,
Writing this down.
I'm trying not to sneeze very loudly into a mic at this point in time.
Excellent. That's what.
And I don't want to turn off my mic because
No.
it doesn't come back on again. But I can mute myself here and then be picked up by your mics.
Yeah, then we're all like.
Let's just see what happens. If I explode, then it's it'll be a first for Cortex. Right. So last week we haven't actually started yet. I'm still, the disclaimer is still above us, but let's see what happens. So last week we had a situation where it began with an attack by the Thuringians. They were devastated by a reaction from the Semnothei. It cost the lives of not only of 5 of the 7 Thuringians in town, but also considerably more innocents. The Vakhtari stepped in and had to defend straight away an attack by a man in shock. Really, just watched his family die. And he had to be taken down. There was no time for discussions. You were brought back. You rested. You've communicated with Godric back at the Enclave in the north. Urstat came across as somebody of incredible power where previously he hadn't. He mentally was able to hold you up off your feet and put pressure on your armour and throat, just to really sort of push that sort of feeling forward. That was obviously a wake up for yourself, but you've tread that a little bit lightly. You're keeping an eye on that. You visited Arvid. Arvid is still due very shortly to come along with some information that you've asked for, referencing any contact between any female and Erstat Drago, the Zakonik of the Umbarogan tribe. On your return, you noticed, or you believe that you saw something, around about sort of 2 foot in height, winged, bestial almost, a bob-tipped tail upon the Great Hall. You reported this, of course. You've had a little bit of light mockery in your play directed at you. Scared of the dark, or you sure you didn't see a cat? From a Vaktari point of view, you're not used to that disrespect. You, of course, went out there, you can't see anything. You know what he described. It does fit something that you know of in the lore. So you're aware of it, but you haven't seen it. You're aware that there's 2 different types. If it is truly a manifestation, some are, even though they'll be similar in appearance, one is far more dangerous than the other. One being that if it is tethered, then it can grow and will become incredibly powerful if not stopped. It is already considered dangerous. This creature, but the more it kills and eats, the bigger and more powerful it gets, to becoming a genuine, real, terrible threat. If it is not tethered, then it'll basically be dragged back into its own plane well before it becomes much of a threat. But it will be a threat to individuals. It doesn't stop it killing people before it, but it killing and eating doesn't tether it. It will break up and go back. You investigate. You talk to those 2 surviving Thuringians who are chained up in the whale fat storage area down the street from the Great Hall. You got no real information from them of worth to do with any assassination attempt on the Semnothei, though you did find out that one of King Otwin's sons was killed. You've sort of taken that on board and you're considering what to do about that. But otherwise, you don't see these 2 Thuringians as a threat beyond being berserk lunatic tribesmen. They don't seem to wish any sort of revenge debt. None of them were siblings, so they don't feel that they have to take revenge upon you, though that would be only a Thuringian way of thinking to decide to go up against a Semnothei. You know that they see the Vaktari as a challenge. You, of course, had to slap and admonish your Vaktari, who he had a part to play in winding up the Thuringians as far as surface investigation looks, that they were attacking him. And it was hit 1. Unfortunately, it was the son of King Otwin had basically lost his cool, and he went a long way towards doing that, because you're not to blame, obviously.
No.
You've got no fault. And yeah, so you killed Jokal, the one of the sons of King Otwin of the Thuringians. So you got 2 there. They're chained up. You've gone back to the Great Hall, and effectively that was where it ended, I believe.
We'd spoken to the Visok.
Of course, yes, you'd spoken to the Visok. He suggested that
moving the timeline along for Elvar.
Alvar's sacrifice, yes, the gods demanded.
And also getting King Bjorn and Griselda on the road.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah. So it's late evening.
Yep.
That's where you are. You're back at the Great Hall. In case I'm forgetting something, I believe that's where my notes left me.
No, that's where we were.
I know I was distracted with note taking last week as Talbot fell over. I'll have to release that at some point.
No, don't.
Yeah,
there was about 4 F-bombs dropped as he collapsed as he fell off the chair.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he was tripped up by an inanimate object that didn't move, but apparently it lurched out of him and
Did?
It attacked him.
it attacked you like a skilled owned Vaktari.
Right.
Anyways,
so there we are,
okay.
And yeah, let's get going. So at this moment in time, we are in the Great Hall. The sun has gone down. The pen stopped working. The sun has gone down. You are expecting Arvid. Arvid promised to bring the information himself. Yep.
Yes.
So that's what you're basically waiting on at this point in time. Is there anything is there anything that you need to do? Don't worry about it. I'm going to be off camera for a second. But I'm just at the other end of the table. Yeah, so you're in the Great Hall. You've literally just walked back in after having looked at the outside of the hall. Yep, you're looking for what he said was a manifestation, some kind of creature. Did you give it a name? Did you say what you thought it was?
Described it.
Yeah, but
Says
you don't know what it
demon,
is.
perhaps a demon of some sort.
So you
I
did
don't
go
even-
with
I don't
demon?
know if I did say
No, I don't
demon.
think you did.
I don't think I did. I just
Let me-
described that it had wings, like a bat, and a spiked tail.
Yeah. So either way, you're in the Great Hall.
Yes.
For a number of hours, people have been here for the evening meal. The farming is done, the fishing is done, the gutting of animals and whatever. It goes as far as the running of a large city like this. Those that are celebrated and invited as such, friends of the king, are in the Great Hall. Unlike the past, the Great Hall is not the centre of the city for everybody. It is becoming more of it's the king's residence and invited only. So it's who is who. Powerful traders, merchants, and also a representation of all the major tribes. Notably, the Thuringians are missing. Of course.
There's only 2 of them left.
And
They
they're
chained up.
And they're chained up, so notably they won't be there.
The king is drunk, and
Surprising.
but he did sort of say that he was uncomfortable with still holding the 2 last Thuringians chained. Obviously, he's subject to your ruling, but as the king, he believes that they've got no fault to bear against the Semnothei. They didn't attack you. They were in another part of the city, and they don't seem to be linked. And that is the 2 surviving representatives of the tribe in Reikdorf. He's uncomfortable with them being chained, and you said, Ulmakor basically expressed his own opinion, which was law, which is they're staying there until I decide otherwise. Yeah. So you're in the hall. You're near the king. He's at the throne. Alvar's there. I don't know if they can.
I don't know.
I don't know if you can hear the puppy mumbling in its sleep.
God. Anyways, carry on. Maintain the
Duress.
focus.
Yes.
Right, so he's Bjorn's drunk.
Yep.
He's drunk but in good mood.
Yeah. Bjorn is not an angry drunk. He's quick to anger in a normal sense of if pride or challenged. But in most cases, he's a good man, and he's jovial. He's having a good time. He's smiling. But you know that there's a cloud over him because obviously he's still worried for his wife. He's still worried for his unborn child, and of course he's about to lose his father's champion, Alvar, to sacrifice. This in itself is having an impact on him. So there's a hooded look to his eyes.
Right. Okay. And Ersted's around, or is he? Is Ersted in the?
Erstad is not to be seen. But at this point in time, because you're in your 3rd night, you wouldn't expect him to be here. Remember, you've noted that unless he'll be there at the beginning, and then he makes his excuses and normally heads back to his room, and he'll stay there for the night. The drinking
It's not his thing.
is not his thing.
So I am on high alert. Very high alert. Especially considering what's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's still the same day.
Yeah,
Everything's gone on. Yeah.
Mm.
And also the thing that you thought you saw, or you might have saw,
Possibly.
still on your
So I'm
mind.
not drinking at all.
Okay.
I need to be focused, remember. That's what my master said.
I did,
He did say that.
quite pointedly. With the back of my hand, if I remember correctly.
Whatever side of the hand it was. Cannot.
Obviously, your conversation is hidden, is masked by the sound of people laughing and joking.
Yep.
This isn't some kind of court. There's no musical, minstrels
Right, so
dancing
just
around.
murmuring going on.
It is
People
literally just like
laughing and joking.
loud, raucous laughter, crudeness, and ale splashing, and basically that sort of environment. It's very loud, very boisterous. So you're having this private conversation. It is not overheard as far as you can tell, anyway.
Part of the conversation is that Arvid's supposed to be coming to see me tonight. Point. So I need to be around where you can see me in the Great Hall. That one. I think you need to go out and be aware of this thing that you've seen, but also I want you to have a check on that entrance to the that's quarters from the outside, because I don't. If Arvid can't give us the information we want, we might be able to break that loop and find the information, as in find the person who's using that, people or whomever's using that entrance and exit way. So probably, if Les Arvid turns up soon, get yourself out there, not patrol, but somehow get yourself in a position to see what's going on. I'm surrounded by the king and all these warriors. If that thing comes in, I think you saw, comes in, A, I can call for you. B, one more spear amongst a multitude of spears. So I think I'm going to, but don't want to miss the opportunity. Cat deciding to.
She's still on camera.
Yes.
And
So
she's
she's going to go up and start sniffing the lens.
or chewing on it.
Yeah. Do that, and I'm here, surrounded by Bjorn and all his men.
Understood.
But that way you can keep an eye on who's using that entrance next. We'll give Arvin he should be coming anytime now. If he doesn't, then you don't need to be here. I'll speak to him.
Understood, Master. Do as you ask. So I will just wait. In attention, stood to attention behind Ulmakor, and just wait for the arrival of Ovid. If he doesn't, by the time he said, give or take, I will then go on patrol. I'd say go on patrol. I will go to the where the secret passages that leads to Istad's room.
Okay. Well, in your mind, obviously, time goes by. You've finished a cup of ale. Ovid is yet to arrive. You didn't give him there's no way to have a specific time. You just knew that it would be after nightfall. Ovid hasn't arrived, so presumably
I'll make that decision. I'll be like, right, he's not turned up. He should be here. Get yourself out there because I want to know entrance exit way.
You obviously this time of night, as you've noted, the doors are thrown back and there's a couple of Umberogans outside. Ceremonial in that sense, shield and spear and sober, guarding the king and his guests. Though, as has been pointed out, as you can see, the hall is filled with a considerable amount of warriors, but it's also filled with these people that were, in your mind, would have been farmers and now are tradesmen. And
just carry on.
Yep. So. You step outside, and it's still quite active outside. It's like any large hall where there's people drinking and having, it's an evening thing. Every evening is the same. And out the front there are people coming and going, and basically just they step outside and move to left and right and relieve themselves and that sort of thing. But it's not like there's people aren't congregated out the front. When you step out, you take a step to your right hand side. I think it is. You go to your right to go towards the side where the storage sheds are that run the length of the Great Hall. You take that step, you get to the corner as you're about to go into the darker area, and Urstat steps out. As if he's been coming, well, he definitely was coming down there. He steps out and you see his eyes glint from inside his hood. He's pulled his hood and cloak quite tight against the cold. You are aware of his presence before you physically see him. You recognise it. The smell hits you, and while your brain goes, "What's that smell?" Urstat appears from the shadows. His eyes glint from the moonlight as he looks up at your I suppose, passionless face. Glad that I found you here. I was going to come for you, Vaktari. Follow me. And he starts walking down the road.
I'll fall in behind.
You pass over the scar that is the memory of the Soviets' attack on the or defense against the Thuringians. Even in the moonlight, you can see where the ground is stained with the blood from earlier in the day. You approach the guarded whale store, the whale oil area. The two guards, well, there are a change of guards. There's two Umberongans on the front of the building itself. Now, remember, this was the building that was pulled. The front was pulled off, and it has been sort of like shored up and rebuilt as best as it could during the day. You may leave without even batter an eyelid. The two Umberogans walk away, head uphill towards the Great Hall. Come inside with me. You step in, the Thuringians are asleep, suspended by their chains. They wake up, they're grown. You can smell human waste upon them. They've been training for a full day and they've defecated. You can feel the chill in the air as well. It's the coldest night so far, and they are down in loincloths. The dirt from being dragged and beaten in the street is deep shadows upon their body in the darkness. With he literally opens up his left palm, and a glowing light forms in the palm of his hand. It quickly separates into multiple balls of light which float around the room, casting light so that it literally pushes back the shadows. You see them lie, well, they're in a sort of a crouched position, their arms suspended above them, chained to the floor. You see the welts and the bruises across their face and body are still as livid as they were earlier for when they were subdued, and mixed in with the dirt and the matting in their hair and the effluent and waste at their feet. Pitiful creatures, aren't they, Vakhtari? So proud one moment, and yet nothing the next. Many things can be said to be similar, except the Semnothei. Semnothei are forever great, never bowed. Even the mightiest tribes, the Umberogans, the Thuringians, they all fear the Thuringians, and then look at them. Nothing. I understand that they disrespected you earlier. Without the Soviet here to hold your hand, and I mean to stop it, would you like to physically express your distaste for the Thuringian scum? Feel free.
I do not, Semnothei. I feel no distaste towards these Thuringians.
You see his eyes, there's a frown basically forms on his eyes. He looks at you. It's not confused, it's more, you can see it's anger really, if anything. How can you not?
What is your request, Semnothei?
I have no request. Silence extends between you as he stares at you. He looks back at the Thuringians. They look up. You can see there's an air of defiance, even if, in the last couple of moments as you've been talking, strength comes back to their muscles, and the pride that the Thuringians carry in them makes them, they kneel up, they strain against their chains, their eyes clear of the exhaustion and pain that they're feeling. Even now, if given a chance, without even a moment's thought, if I was to release the chains and say, do as you wish with this Vakhtari, they will both fall upon you and tear you limb from limb. You know this. They are a threat to you. They're a threat to the Semnothei. They're a threat to your Soviet personally. They're not a threat to me. They harbour ill will against you. They hate you for what you've done. You killed one of their princes. If the king is to release them, what do you think they'll do? Do you think they fear us? They don't fear us. They want glorious death so that they may find themselves in the halls of Ulrich. And you stand here in front of a threat and do nothing. You fail again to stop. Do you only defend the Semnothei when you see a threat? Are you not proactive? Do you not see a threat that potentially could come?
Forgive me, Semnothei. They are not yet a threat.
The fact that they are breathing, they are a threat. The fact that you cannot see this concerns me greatly.
What is your request, Semnothei?
I have no request, Vakhtari. But I am hesitant to put any trust in you. The Semnothei must rely on the Vakhtari, and I find that the Vakhtari are lacking. They are weak, flesh, bone, incapable of forward thought. I have pointed out that they are a threat to your Soviet. And you do nothing. You hide. They're no threat now, and if you walk away, and they are released, and then they kill your Soviet, at which point do you find yourself thinking, I could have stopped this? At which point are you going to be able to look beyond the now and see future threats and deal with them? To become a Vakhtari as they are meant to be, not this weakened version that stands before me.
Forgive me for speaking out of turn, Semnothei.
I will not, so think carefully of what you're going to say.
If the Soviet wanted them executed by my hands, he would have ordered it.
Do you not think the Soviet is also relying on you to perceive a threat and deal with it accordingly? Do you suggest I'm a liar? Because I've just told you they are a threat. They are a direct threat to your master, to the Semnothei.
What is your request, Semnothei?
I have no request.
I am duty bound.
To defend the Semnothei. Are you not going to defend them now? Do you need them to break free and to harm your Soviet? Before you react? Perhaps a knife to his ribs? Do you think he'll think of himself in a forgiving manner when he could? I will not tell him that they knelt, told you that they were a threat, and you did nothing. You failed him again. You're failing him now.
I don't see them as a threat, Semnothei.
So you don't see them as a threat, but I do. So I'm correct. I'm wrong.
No, you are not wrong, sir.
Do I misjudge things?
No. Semnothei do not misjudge.
So they are a threat. You must agree this and do nothing about it, or are you going to act?
I will act when needed. If you request me to end them now, I shall, if that is your request, Semnothei.
I don't request. Semnothei make no requests of man, only the gods. And you are not a god.
I don't claim to be, Semnothei.
There's a reason that the Vaktori are a failed experiment. Do you notice any other Vaktori here?
I do not, Semnothei.
Do you not think that's strange? Do you not think that should have been something that you noticed? All Zakonik, all tribes have Vaktori. Where's the Vaktori here? Didn't notice this, did you? You perceived no threat before you, yet you turn up, and there's a Zakonik stance here without a Vaktori god, and you didn't even notice. I think your judgment is clouded, or perhaps worse, I think you look towards the undoing of the Semnothei. I think you are probably the enemy amongst us.
If you think that of Caradak, me, Semnothei, then you are entitled to think. You are the Semnothei, I will not question it. I will not question your order. Give me an order, I will fulfill it.
You have two orders. One, you do not speak of this moment. We never met. You were never here. And you have not been told that the Vaktori that was assigned here is missing. The second order is to kill these two now. And when asked in the morning how it came to be, you know nothing of it because you were never here. And if you think telling the Soviet will not, or I should say, if you think telling the Soviet will protect you, you are wrong. Because long before Ulmakor can do anything to protect you, your heart will explode in your chest. Because Ulmakor cannot move against me without the Visok's anger, and he cannot take that chance. So I can accidentally just kill you out of hand and out of spite. If you betray me to Ulmakor, you will die within moments, and it will be for nothing. See that it's done.
Yes, Semnothei.
He walks off, leaving you by yourself. The Thuringians stare at you. They're not speaking. They're not pulling on the chains. There's a look of acceptance. They stand, or they don't stand, they kneel, really strain against the chains, but only just to make sure that their backs are straight. They're ready, they're prepared to meet Ulrich. Eager almost, because you can see in their eyes that they're not going to just die of starvation or torture, that they're going to be killed by the hands of, let's be honest, even by Thuringian standards, a warrior. There's not a bad way to go.
So are they stood up?
Kneeling. They
Kneeling.
can't
Oh,
stand
they
the
can't.
chain. The way that the chain
Oh, right, okay.
is because they're huge strength. They could pull the chains out the fence, out the wooden walls.
So they're incapable of standing?
They're not capable of standing. They've literally, their arms are pulled to such a degree that they're kind of,
Right.
they're like this. Their arms are pulled behind them. Their huge muscle is used against them. Their bulk doesn't allow for them to be able to pull themselves taut. So they're kind of at a curve, leaning forward. Their heads are down. From a warrior's point of view, you can give them the warrior's death of the blade down the back, an instantaneous thing, the honourable kill, if that is your thinking.
That wasn't.
We're not going to know what you're thinking. We're going
No.
to see by your actions and deeds.
So yeah, soon as the Semnothei leaves, I'll take out both blades, swords, make it very quick.
Step up,
Step,
walk around behind them.
Yeah.
No words.
no words, nothing.
Your swords descend. They're twin-edged, pointed. You have the strength. You have the capability. Your blades plunge down. The briefest of pain, the hearts are pierced, and they slump forward without word. You're in the hall. You've noted. You basically tell the Vakhtari to leave, to keep an eye on Urstat's escape route or hidden
A hidden.
entrance. Oh, that aroma.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Puppy power. Someone's been eating beans. Literally Vakhtari disappears out of sight, and you see him step to one side. He looks left and right and vanishes out of sight when Urstat comes out of his room and walks up and takes a seat near you on the lower pier. You're in his seat, but this one has been located for him since obviously the Soviet are visiting. He takes a seat and and then orders motions over for a drink. So my Soviet, this presence I felt that you were looking for outside. Is it possible that we have a denizen from another realm has broken through?
It is possible. It is. Is it probable? I don't know. Should be aware of it, though. I mean, I have felt it. Something's not quite right.
I can feel it. It's not that I can feel it close. I just feel its presence. It's hunger.
I do. The beasts feed and feed voraciously until they are gone. What I don't understand is how it got here. If it was by accident, by chance, by design, that is a concern for both of us. By design. So if someone's brought this thing, is there anyone in? This is a rather large conclave now of people, much bigger than as I remember it. Is there anyone? Do you know anyone who has that sort of power to
Nobody
challenge Semnothei?
nobody that's made themselves known to us. If there would have been, if I sense even the smallest of powers there, depending on age, of course, I, as we are needing to do,
Duty bound to grab.
I make sure that the problem goes away quickly.
There is, however, a lot of people visiting this place. A lot of strangers and people from far distant shores. Something to be aware of. You've never struck that any one of our abilities. And it is of concern. It is of concern. I would suggest be on your guard. Be ready. If this thing does make an appearance, it needs to be taken out extreme force as quickly as possible.
I do not know if I've got the skill to tackle such as one of these creatures, but I do have the skill to ward. My chambers are warded against its presence and its evil. If needs be, you can take shelter there with me. I do not know, obviously, Sovadai have all the belief in the world that you can vanquish such a creature, but I have not been tested against such a thing. My level of knowledge has not got to that stage of learning. Those secrets are beyond me. But I will do what I can to support you. You note Ovid literally float into the room. He comes into the room, baggied, pajama-like shoes, slippers with curls on the front. He's got a split cloak of gold Jewelry glints off the sunlight and the thing.
He blends in easily.
Absolutely not. His rotund belly is a massive swirls of white paint, and he comes in with a beaming smile. You notice several women accompany him, start moving off to towards the tribal members that are here from the other tribes, and they seem to. You noted in the back of your mind from the night before, but it's only now that you've seen it again that it makes sense, that you note it as something to file away, that the women go to the same person of each tribe. You identify that and think they must be the leader of each enclave, because none of these have obviously been identified to you. Though one of them does go to Hamar, the Endel.
Right.
Hamar seems to be someone that always seems to be around. He's near the king always, but every time something happens, he seems to be there. He was the one that had a black eye when the Thuringians were told to be arrested. He's now there with a couple of Endels, and you see has one of Arvid's women now gravitates towards him. Arvid makes a beeline straight towards you. Arms there. Big man, like I say. He fills the room with his smile, his clothing, everything about him. It just attracts attention, but it attracts attention in the sense of waves and smiles and pats on the back. But he is easily head and shoulders above everybody else. A huge golden chain and torque around his neck. Just wealth in the physical sense as well as in warmth and friendship. Sovit! Ha ha! I am here at the hour as expected. Arvid has not let you down.
Not at the moment, Arvid.
And never shall I. And Erstat is sitting right beside you, remember?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So, Erstat, I will take your leave. On that matter that we talked about. Chat with Arvid. Matters discussed them previously. Keep an eye out for that thing. Keep a big eye.
Of course, Arvid.
I'll only be gone momentarily. Speak to this foreigner, and just Arvid, follow me, please. We have a private matter to discuss, and don't need to bother everyone while they're in their cups. And I head towards my room.
As you do, Erstat steps up from his chair and sits from the chair into his chair, yeah. your vacated chair. You walk into your chambers, and Arvid follows behind. As you presumably closing the door.
Yeah, close the door. Yeah.
The laughter of King Bjorn, loud and above all others, the booming laughter of a powerful man, a king amongst friends, where he sees and feels no threat. But again, you know the man, and you know that the laughter just seems a little bit too forced. You know he's got a big heart. He loves his queen, and it's weighing heavily on him.
Right.
The door closes. Arvid looks around the. Obviously, you've got far more lavish quarters than, for example, Erstat.
Yes.
The big double bed, and all that sort of stuff, and the big fireplace. May I sit? He points at the base of your bed.
Feel free. You have information for me, Arvid.
And so I do, my friend, so I do. Erstat's a slippery fellow. He's got his fingers in all kinds of things, but that's not what you're after. You were wondering who the woman is that he seeks.
You have information for me, Arvid.
She's known as Torvi.
Torvi? And what?
Yes. She came with the Merodians. I believed she was a Menegoth, but she wasn't. They're very similar.
Menegoth?
To the east. The tribes to the east. Don't try and play coy with me as if you don't know your own people. Ha ha ha! You Semnothei, I gotta watch you. So I've said that. That is Torvi. That's who it is. And I now, of course, expect a level of one-sided friendship. Like perhaps the way that I would look upon a favoured dog. Would you look upon me as a favoured dog? Because I would not be so forward as to think that the Semnothei would do anything for me, but I have shown that I am of great help, I think. Would you like to know what the conversations are about?
Absolutely. What do you know? Who is this Torvi? You've described what race she's from, what tribe she's from, but what does she do? What is her purpose?
Well, she came some 2 years back when the tribes first arrived here. The tribes to the east are always of a closer friendship to the Umberogans than the ones further north. They're a smaller tribe, and she sought work here.
What sort of work?
Work with me.
Ah, A more delicate.
Or I should say, my forebear. I have taken over her, and she is part of my flock. But yes, she is a valuable asset.
So she works for you,
Mm.
and now she's working for Ørsted.
It seems that Ørsted has a way with your people, being Semnothei, no doubt. So she came here with her tribesmen. She sought work. She was given work. And Ørsted has been able to bend her ear. So I think it was to eavesdrop upon me, perhaps, gain knowledge or power over me. But also, it's to hide her in plain sight, because she seems to be able to move, now that she's one of my girls, freely amongst the camps and amongst the tribes.
Interesting. And you've known about this for how long?
About an hour.
You've known that she's potentially been eavesdropping on you and reporting to Ørsted about you for an hour?
Yes. I have spent the last hour questioning her before I come here. You may come back to my humble establishment. She is still there. It may be some time before she's able to work. You asked me, you said that there was a woman. She was able to approach the Great Hall. That's all I had, she was a woman. Remember that your Vaktori, he may be great with spear, but he seems to be dim of mind. There was very little information. I think that I should be recognised for finding this out. And of course, it was a favour to me. I find I have a snake in my basket. And now that snake is well and truly working for me.
That's interesting. I will be, thank you, first and foremost, for providing the information. I will come to your establishment, not immediately, but I will be at your establishment later on tonight. And I would like to talk, Torvi. I would like to talk to Torvi. I would like her not to be harmed so she can't talk.
Oh, she can still talk.
And then we will see what we'll see after I have a chance to ask her some questions.
Of course. And if any time that I may call upon you for potential aid or assistance, will I be comfortable or rebuked?
I'm not at liberty to be requests made ad hoc, Arvind. I think you forget yourself. I am Semnothei. I think you forget that what you do for me was not a request. You do this because I am Semnothei. And
I forget, my friend. You see, we don't have people like you where I come from. We beheaded them all. But the land has to learn. And you are in command. And I respect that, absolutely. He stands, the shadows, this huge man stands up before you. He has smiled. There is nothing threatening about him. Those words obviously are totally against this relaxed, sort of big, jovial smile, But I shall take my leave before things go sour, because otherwise you may do something that you'll regret down the line when I'm not there, old Arvid, to help you out in a time of need. And he walks towards the door. Fare thee well until such time as you see me. I will be at my establishment. Opens the door, and he walks off, and you hear his ha! The odd word and voice and name. What are you doing after you've executed the Thuringians?
Clean up.
Clean up?
Well, no, don't do like a sweep or mop up or anything like that.
Get the hoover out.
Dust.
Put everything back. Dust. No, they're so messy, these Thuringians.
No, clean my swords.
Right?
Clean myself.
On their bodies.
Bodies, yeah. Clean the swords on their bodies, but I can't say that. And that's it, just to make it look like I was not there.
Okay.
What about the guards standing outside?
They were told to leave before you entered.
Right. Okay. So there's still nobody out there.
Nope.
Right. Okay. And then once I'm satisfied that it's all in order, I will take my leave. I will go to continue on to the food store.
Yep. The food store?
Well, sorry, the storage area where the secret passages.
Uh-huh.
And just scope it out, see if there's anything. Stay a while. If there isn't, then I will make my way back to my master Ulmakor.
Okay. So after your chat with Arvid, what's your intentions?
Come out the room, close the door.
Yep.
And head towards Ørsted and go towards him and pointedly, so you make him
keeping it warm.
Eurostad, it's always what I want, a warm seat. Have you sensed anything about our particular presence in my absence?
I just feel a darkness. It's weird, like a power looks upon us. A great power looks down, and it is hungry. It's hungry. This is just its one of its creatures. It's a herald, perhaps, of things to come. I don't know. I believe that it is. I can feel its power. I can feel it's close, and it hungers. But I feel that it is nothing compared to what watches. That its mere presence has brought attention of something far greater, far darker.
One moment, and I'm gonna reach out with my senses to try and see if I'm also feeling. Once I realised that what I saw that there was something described it, I want to know: can I feel what he's vocalizing?
No. You can sense in your vicinity, in the sense of not in the sense. It's not like 300 meters in a perfect circle.
Yeah.
You are aware of the presence of something inhuman. You are aware of a hunger, of a darkness that is not of a human creation. It is not one of Tal or Ulrich's children. There's something of a dark, very dark nature, and it's like walking into a smell. You know there's a bad smell, but you can't necessarily pinpoint what it's coming from if you can't see it. That's what it is.
Right.
And that wasn't there before.
It wasn't there before.
No.
It was there before when it wasn't there before when I was sitting talking to him, and then it's come after I've got back. Is that what you're saying?
Nope. So it wasn't there because you weren't consciously looking for it.
Right.
You hadn't bothered.
So it's almost like now I'm aware.
Now you're aware of it. Now it's there.
Yeah, I can smell that.
Now it's been pointed out. You can't ignore it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And you don't have to actively be certain. You're now just aware of its presence.
Right. Okay. I think you're onto something here. Instead, I think we need to be prepared, and we need to be prepared now. I think matters may be coming to a head. You're right. I can sense that, and that doesn't feel good.
Is there anything that you can ask, that you could tell me, any instruction?
Why
not give the puppy a drum?
I don't know, because the symbols weren't. Yeah.
Could have played with anything, but it has to pat a box.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody, just take a moment.
Puppy power.
Puppy up. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, as you talk,
just be prepared as that we could at any point in time be called upon to defend everyone. As you know, spears and steel work against these denizens, but nothing like the power that's within us all, which works much better. Be prepared. Don't go wandering off. Don't go wandering off alone.
My chambers are just there. I'm going to go check on the wards. Is that
fine? Yes.
Okay. He gets up and leaves, and halfway up the hall, you noticed Ulmakor.
You notice yourself?
I notice myself.
Yes, you do. He stares at you from the shadows, and he's like,
yeah,
and then he vanishes, and it's Caradak.
And I wake up and I'm in the shower.
Yes, and it's a 1980s oil show.
Oil show. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I see
Caradak.
Yep.
He throws off his Ulmakor mask.
Yeah.
Din, 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 din.
Okay. So I see Caradak.
Yeah.
I'll back him towards us.
As standard procedure, I'll make our way, stand attention.
I'll sort of lean in, so it's low voice. I'm not trying to, you'd have to be close to be listening to what I say. See anything of anyone?
Nothing, Master.
How long has he been gone for?
By this point, about 25, 30 minutes.
I did as you asked. I patrolled the area. I did not see anything or raise my suspicion.
Did you see this thing that was on the roof, or were you aware of that?
No, Master.
I think we need to be aware that there's something around here. I need sharp. I need blades to be even sharper. You may be called on to defend me again.
Of course, Master.
Just be where you are. Something's not right here. But you were only out for about half an hour, so you should. I'm asking you, like, you should do it yourselves. Something around here. Ears of something not right. We'll stay here for about another hour. I just want to feel this tension to see whether it dissipates or whether it's going out to, or I have a conversation. Certain person there. It's,
While we're having a discussion, I'm just noticing sort of. I'm stood to attention.
yeah.
Shield, actually, no, I won't have my sheet. Just have me spear stood to attention. But
So you picked up. I'm getting the impression that you leave your shield when you put your shield down, unless told otherwise. Your shield and spear are near the front, like an armor rack type thing. Yeah. And when you first went out, you only went out there with swords, didn't you? So as you've come in, you've picked up your shield on the way in.
Well, just because it's my natural Victoria thing. Because
Well,
if I'm on duty, I will just carry it.
Okay, so
From
you
it.
actually took the spear with you when you went out on the walk as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
Okay.
I'm like, because he said patrol, so
Yep.
I'm assuming that I'm on duty.
So you've got your shield on the back.
Unless we're
and your
relaxed
spear.
and when I'm off duty and I'm
Yep.
just sort of
So your shield and spear. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
tell it otherwise. Okay. Yep.
Where is that?
You noticed him as you were walking up the hall, head off to his own quarters.
Okay.
Scratched me hat, not me head.
Did it work?
No, not in the slightest. Yeah.
Self. Right.
What-
Okay.
What sort of tension?
That
Oh.
thing that you saw, thought
It
you
is.
saw,
It is still here.
it feels like it could be around. If it is what you, if it is something not natural, then it is a risk to us. Just be aware. Is this tension? This we'll just call it the smell. You know, like is it intensifying or is it just there?
It's just there.
It's just there. Right. Okay.
Did Ovid? Did he make an appearance, Master?
Did Arvid's knight talk to someone? What's Bjorn doing? Is he just in his cups now?
Yeah, he's getting close to the point where he'll retire soon.
Right.
But it's that time of night that most people are going to start retiring soon. Right now, it's that getting to that point.
Right. Okay.
There
Let's-
is.
I'm going to get up and say, right, okay, King Bjorn, I'm going to say Bjorn, I take the night air, to get out this, just to walk off some of the effects of some of the drink that I've had, and I bid you a good night. I suspect you won't be back. You'll all be in your bed by the time I get back, and see you. See you. Catch
See
you
ya.
later.
See ya. Catch you later.
Ta-ta.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, friend Ulmakor, enjoy the night air. He looks back down into his cup, and that's when you see that the darkness. Darkness. I don't want to use the word. There's
He's a bit under the weather. He's a bit depressed.
You can see. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's that frown sort of descends upon him as he stares into his drink. He's not really with it.
Yeah, right. Caradak. Head out.
Okay.
I want to get a sense. The smell's still. I'm gonna walk. Follow me. We're gonna walk and just see. And I'm gonna walk at a distance when that presence, that smell, should we call it? Is it?
Let's not go with smell because that's going to give the impression that you're going.
Yeah, no,
It's
okay.
not-
So
it's,
that
it's a
presence,
mental. Unless you want to go
fog.
that mental fart.
Yeah,
mental
the
smell.
mental fog that's around it. Yeah.
Fog. Right.
Yeah.
Fart.
That's,
Fog.
That's better.
Yes.
The mental fart. Ooh. It's hard being Semnothei.
Yeah. La, la, la. Ah, good day. Did anyone else hear that?
Yeah.
It's really bad when you get older. Godric has a terrible time
Yeah,
with
I was gonna
it.
say,
Was that a spirit or me?
it's just you, Godric. You smell like an old dog.
God, ram it.
An old wet dog.
He followed through.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to move back, and I need you to visually sight. Try and pick
Yeah, like I say,
anything
I am on
illuminated
high.
against the moon
I'm on
or
high
whatever.
alert regardless.
And I'm going to just basically move away until the mental fog is no longer sense it,
Mm-hmm.
and just see how far. I mean, I'm not going to walk for like an hour and a half. Going, still smell it, still there until
No, it's everywhere. It is literally over the town.
it's over the town.
Yeah.
So and it's not intensified on anyone. But
No.
Something's not right.
Marvin, I see that you're using these. If you want to access these because they're better than the piece of paper or whatever, feel free. Yeah.
This
you
is
wanna
me
make-
internal monologues.
Okay. Well,
It's your dear diary.
Yes, dear diary.
just use them as you see fit.
Caradak was abused today. Yeah.
Again. Right. So let's go to Arvin's.
Master, I must ask, what is your intentions with for the Thuringians?
The Thuringians. As a race, as a tribe.
The two in particular.
The two in particular, probably. If I don't think any more example needs to be made of those two. They may be useful for us for where we have to go. It may be possible that we could utilize one or both of them as guardsmen. I haven't really had a chance to think about what I'm going to do with them. At the moment, they can just stay where they are. There's no harm for them to realize that, and for others to realize that the Semnothei are in control. But we are not merciless for no reason. The gods inform us when things need to happen. Probably I'll release them. Why? Why do you ask?
No reason, Master. I just making conversation. I forgive me for speaking out of terms.
Yeah, no. I'm just curious as to why you need to know. Not a problem. We'll see them tomorrow morning. We'll have a chat. See whether the I think probably tomorrow we'll just. They've served their purpose at this stage, but I don't wish to see them released too soon. And then so let's get to Arvid's.
So you've been walking as you talk,
Yeah.
and you come to the end of the street where halfway down you come to the road, the street, that halfway down is the entrance to Arvid's.
Right.
You walk down it, remembering that during the day this is a place of butchers and clothiers and that sort of thing, dyers. All closed down, but the smell is still here. The smell of urine and meat is strong in the street. You come up to the high wall of Arvid's establishment and note that there are two men in just in normal clothing garb. They're not showing any tribal colours. Each has they've got leather bands around their wrists. They've got the short shift of clothing, the strapped boots, heavy belts. You can see that they've both carried daggers, but neither have the accoutrements of armour or weapons of a warrior. They're not armoured as such.
Right, but so they would suggest.
Effectively, they're wearing plain clothes, normal clothing.
Yeah, but they're in a position. They're at Arvid's place in front of the.
Correct.
So I'm suspecting that these are now the replacements for the Thuringians that were there.
Yes.
Yeah, they give that impression of like a doorman or a hired muscle of some sort.
And they've got the shape and build and muscular. So, say, bear in mind that even at this point in time, like trousers aren't a thing.
Yeah.
So you've got the tunic and the lower piece that wraps around, and you have the leather belt. So you can see the calf muscles, the shins, and the strapping around the sandal feet. They've got the look from scars and muscular build of warrior soldiers.
Right.
Yep. Obviously, you're walking down outside of Arvid's house. On either side of the doorway are two tallow torches burning thickly, and as you step into the light, they immediately notice that the cat has bit the cable on the camera.
Oh yes.
And we're now staring at the floor.
Nice one, cat.
Yes.
No, don't. There we go. Oh, there's another one down here now.
Perfect.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hi.
Welcome back.
See, I bet Spielberg didn't have to put up with this.
I bet he did with Jaws.
I bet you did, yeah. You know what they say? Don't work with children or animals.
Or Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws bit a boat. It wasn't even in the show, He just attacked the boat, and they were like, "Come on, Jaws," and then left it in. It was a ha-ha moment for the show. So
some sort of hat could be made.
Back to reality.
Yeah. Back to the moment. Right.
So you step into the light. You immediately see the tattooing across your shaved head.
Yep.
It's been 3 days, by the way, and bristle is starting to form, just so you know. And his hair oiling has not been done for 2 days either. Something else that suddenly comes to mind.
Yeah, like, wait a minute. Let yourself go, mate.
Says the guy with the spiky head.
Yeah. Hedgehog head. I'm allowed to. I'm Semnothei. Don't talk to me.
I've been stressed, right?
Nut. Think you overreacted there, Victoria.
Yeah.
So they see the tattoos that over your sort of the side of your forehead and around the back of your head. They immediately react by stepping to one side. When it's obvious, you're not just walking past. You walk along and you go towards that step into the stone archway,
Yeah.
and they do their best to get out of the way. No challenge, no words. Head, eyes bowed, head down. Acrobatic.
So that's exactly nothing out of the ordinary with that. That's a normal.
That's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be. I'll carry on walking through and heading to where I know Arvid's main chamber. You know where I met an audience last time.
So you go through the supported archway. Remember, this is a deeper doorway than most. It's been reinforced as such. You go in there, and as you get closer, you can hear the sounds of laughter, some light music, bells and harps, and you can hear the sounds of birds tweeting. As you go in there, there's birds in cages. There's a smell of perfume, not the cloying, stagnant smell of Erstat, but the freshness of petals and rosewater. The water trickles in a fountain that's obviously been crafted by not the standard tribesmen. No expense has been spared. The curtains are, some are open, some are closed, but the business is in full flow. People lounging around on wicker-supported, heavily pillowed chairs, drinking wine and light ales. Arvid just seems to come out of nowhere. You didn't see him when you first, he's just scanning around. He's there.
Probably because the mood was somewhat dampened by the arrival of everyone's having a great time, and then.
It's a Semnothei.
Yeah. Oh, great. Oh, look at this other time.
Yeah. And so you obviously approaches and you wish to see Torvi?
Do indeed, my friend. I do indeed.
And what of you, my friend? You seem to be constantly with us. We can't seem to look out for you enough. I don't know. Are your needs that much? That such a vaunted warrior needs to be here 3-4 times a day? Did you know that? He's here constantly. I wonder if he's anywhere else. Do you want your usual?
Takes a pen out, writes that down. You're so getting
hate him even more.
Yeah.
Your usual 3? And a flagon of wine?
I don't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Sorry.
Sorry. Perhaps you should lead on, seeing as you're so familiar with the place.
Oh, he normally has that place. He normally has the room to the left there. I can take you to see Torvi unless you want him with you. So I'll make sure your flagon and your girls are ready for when you're off duty, of course, my friend. Come. Wait for him, but make sure you're fresh. He points at 3 tanned ladies of particularly curved bodies, and make sure that the best flagon is prepared for our friend Caradak, as he's wont. Fluff the pillows, and he walks off.
It is worth noting, Master, it is off duty. Say that. As we walk on.
And as I walk around, but of course, as you're always well aware, Caradak, never off.
You go back down the pathway, the corridor towards Arvid's office, which you've been to before. However, you take a left through one of the many doorways that you bypass, and you enter going down stone stairs that go into the ground. It's very cool. There's a dampness about it, and you appear below ground in a stone environment. There's some heavy slabs of here, reinforced with thick timber.
Feel
and
like a
iron
cellar.
brackets.
It feels.
There's no such thing as cellars yet.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like a storage area, like a cool room, or like something that.
So they do exist, obviously, but they're dug into and they're literally into hills, and they're very crude. This is you've never seen this before. Right. This is an underground house. That's how your mind goes. What?
It's just wrong.
Yeah, it's like underground, but it's a room. Stone is only now becoming fashionable. Right. Timber was the main thing, but to dig a house into the ground.
Normally we just put poo on the walls.
Yeah, exactly.
We call it wattle and daub, and it's great.
Yeah, no, this is different. You've never seen the likes, and it's definitely foreigner.
Yeah.
You go down there. Lights have been lit. Again, whale oil and tallow, and that thick smoke that comes from it, and the smell that accompanies it. You go down a long corridor. The corridor is about 6 foot wide. It is extravagant. There's a considerable amount of work has been done here. But you know that the roof is the ceiling is a lot shorter than you would expect. Yeah, I believe you're over 6 foot, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you're closing on 6 foot. Or were you over? I can't remember. But you're literally
stooping.
Yeah, you're stooping to go along. I mean, Arvid himself is almost bent double. Somebody went to a great deal of effort to make this underground realm, but yet you've
didn't actually make it
didn't
big
height.
Yeah.
The doors are about half what you'd expect. What you'd normally come across as far as height is
As
concerned.
we're going down there, I'll say to Arvid, was there a reason why you couldn't have made this easier to get to? Is this for to keep your food fresh for this reason? As well?
Oh, no. We just take advantage of what we found. I found this when I first set up my business. I don't know who put it here before.
Oh, interesting. Anything else I can see? Or is it just stonework everywhere? There's no...
Just stonework
no
and thick.
markings?
No, the one thing that you do, and this isn't because I just didn't get a chance to tell you
it
at all.
It doesn't remind me of, where we met in the clearing in the forest and made the...
No.
It doesn't remind me of that at all.
No, as eloquent as the Alfar work is, this is crude. This is heavy duty. It's fantastically done.
Yeah.
But it's just square, bang, very practical.
It's of a perfunctory nature, as it does exactly what it is, but there's no elegant...
Nothing pretty about it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
There's effluent channel down the centre with solid stone. There's moss and green, and there's has grown up amongst it, weed, etc. But the stones are uncracked and they are perfectly put together. You've never seen the crafting of it. When man is brutally working his way through stone, this is beyond anything you've seen before.
Right.
But again, it's the opposite of eloquence that you've seen in the Alpha work.
It's not the Alpha work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have heard of the underground folk, the hill folk, but the Semnothei, I've never seen them or come across them.
So I have a suspicion that this might be something that the underground folk could have done, or
correct.
Having never seen it, but it was like,
yeah. This is the first time.
That's the only thing I can put.
Yes.
Like I can latch on to going. Is this underground folk stuff? Right. Okay.
And you haven't come across them. You've heard of them. You know of them.
Yeah.
That they're in existence. That they had a war with the Alfar, but you've had no interactions with them. Apparently, they live in the mountains. They were here. There was a massive war before, and they live in the mountains somewhere. But you've had little to no interaction with them.
All right. Okay.
This seems to fit with what knowledge the Semnothei have of the species. So the thing is, like I say, so you notice the stonework, the stairs leading down.
Yeah.
It's very short, and you also notice that the doorways on the side are thick iron doors, riveted. That's the word that comes to your mind. Big bolts and steel. Not like timber and cloth and hide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Yeah.
Metal hinges. Whoa.
Yeah. But in keeping with what I'm seeing, in Bjorn's new rooms and palace, or this big meeting area, presumably they've got similar. They've got big nails hammered in, and
yes,
it's it's a better version of that. It's almost
exactly. So Bjorn's main hall is man. Definitely, it's a mimic of what you're looking at here. You can see where it was. If somebody had seen this and then tried to copy it, that's what man's done.
Right. Okay.
But there's no evidence to think that Bjorn has. Well, there's nothing in the Great Hall that is similar to this in that sense. To that level.
Yeah.
So anyway, you walk down. You crouch and sort of shuffle down. You're a good 20 foot down. You notice that from time to time, obviously, you're not moving fast, and you can see through some of the grating of these doors, and you can see they are storage. There's hams and meats and wine and etc. Then there's a gap, and they're empty. And you move further forward. You note he's further ahead, and he gets a light, and he looks in and goes, "She's in here." You're one door back, and you can hear the sound. It's the only time you've come across. You can hear there's a stench of human waste and a croaking, groaning noise
in the dorm just
beforehand. Yeah, and he's going, "She's in here. Come into the light."
And I'll glance towards the door that like as I'm walking. If I'm walking past the door here, he's saying,
yep.
And I hear this thing here, and I smell it.
Yep.
I'll look in.
You can see nigh starved, muscle and fat waste is gone. It's that emaciated look. Chained to a wall is incredibly dirty, heavily haired. He's been there a long time, male. Chained to a wall.
I see. Arvid, you have other guests down here. This is a popular place to store people, is it not?
It is. You get on the wrong side of me and you don't have friends and you can't pay your debts, you'll end up down here.
Is this miscreant, is that his issue at the moment?
Exactly what it is. He abused my friendship and he will spend the rest of his days down here until I am happy, and then he will not see the daylight.
I have no. Sounds fair to me.
You could tell by the smell and the look on me. He's been here. He's
Quite
been
some
down
time.
here quite some time, yeah. he's obviously being kept alive, but the minimal level to keep him there. But yeah, you can only see him vaguely in the darkness, and he's in there's sores and he's been battered, old scars. He's broken.
Yeah. At this stage, I don't voice an opinion. I head towards where he is, where Ovid is. So, Ovid,
He shines a light. You look. There's a thick, heavy stone doorway. The metal, the door itself. For want of a better word, cell door. There are some thick, heavy bars you look through, and you can see a woman. She's sort of just slumped against the wall, her legs drawn up about her. Her clothing that she's wearing, this dress, is torn and tattered. There's blood and mud on her hair, on her body. Her hair's mangled and sort of unkept. And she's sort of like up against the wall, legs drawn up. You can see she's still got she's only been down here an hour or so, but she's been, she's obviously been slapped around, or Ovid's been quite heavy-handed in getting information out of her.
Right. Is he gone in, or is he?
No, he's that. Do you wish to go in or talk to her from the doorway?
I think we should go in. Do we not?
Takes a key out, pulls the door towards him.
No, after you, good. So
Why do you want me there?
I don't want to be here by myself.
I'll go.
You've got him.
I'll go in first as soon as he opens the door.
Oh,
Just to-
All right, okay. Oh, hey,
spears like shields. There's no delicate way of getting through there in his eagerness.
Get out of the way! I'm in here first. Right. Oh, right, okay.
Right, he's in there, dominating the room. She's like, please, no more. I've said everything there is to say. You really want me in there?
Well, I think we
I
should.
thought it would be a private matter. Okay. He pushes his bulk into the room. It's even lower in here than it is in the main corridor, and he's literally squatting.
Right. Just keep an eye out. Make sure nothing untoward happens. That door probably needs to stay open. The door we just came in at. I don't wish to become a resident down here.
By the rivers of Kemri, you're not wrong. I don't want to be stuck down here.
And I'll sort of shuffle towards where the
Yep.
where the girl is, and I guess I've got to go down on my haunches or onto my hunkers to be able to speak to her. And
Please, just let me go.
so, Torvi, is it?
Yes, master.
Torvi, do you know who I am?
You're
Good. You know what Semnothei do to people who lie to them?
yes, absolutely.
And you know what's happened to you already? It's not been pleasant.
And you can hear more like a subtle growl come from behind you from Ovid. It could be so much worse. I know.
And you understand that whatever's been done to you at this point is nothing that would happen in terms of magnitude if you upset.
Whatever
lie
you
to the
need.
Semnothei.
Anything. But I have always done the Semnothei's bidding. I don't know why I'm being treated, so I have not let you down. I have not betrayed you.
You've not betrayed me, or you've not betrayed the Semnothei?
You, the Semnothei, you're one and the same. She turns around and scuffles towards you, sort of like her hands out in supplication.
Yeah.
The way that you are, it's hard to, but you manage to squeeze her head below your shin and tries to kiss your feet. Please, master, I've always followed the instruction of the Semnothei.
So, tell me, you're working with the Zakonik at the moment?
Yes.
And what was the nature of that work with the Zakonik? What exactly are you doing for him?
Getting to know the tribal leaders that have been sent here from each enclave.
I see.
Getting to know who they are, how important they are to their people, their secrets, passing them all on to Erstadt, squirreling away little pouches of things that he hands me so that he says they can be used, his gifts to them, hiding them in their chambers.
Have you? Can you tell me the last gift that you gave and who it was to?
It was to Jokil, and it was just a small pouch. He always said never to let them know what it is, just to get to know them and to hide it within their chambers.
How big was this pouch, size-wise?
No more than a small money pouch.
And how many of these gifts have you given out?
You know what they are.
Yeah.
I have given them out to all of the enclaves.
All? And how, over what period of time have these been given out?
From time to time, I'm told to take them away and put a new one in there, but it's just been over the last 2 years. 8 seasons.
8 seasons.
4 figures there.
Yeah. From a March and a Wednesday at 2
Yeah.
p.m. Okay. And the last one was given out when?
To joke, it was not yesterday, the night before.
The night before, so the day before.
Last night. How long have I been here?
I don't know. When did you get here? I'll turn around and sort of turn it off.
Just a couple of hours. Stupid woman. Weak-minded. She broke far too early.
Stinks down here. I want to get out. I said to Arvin, stinks down here. I have no interest in this woman anymore.
Can I do that as I please?
I have no interest in her at all. I'll walk out, head towards that.
Okay. What are you doing? He steps out. You know Arvid is not moving.
About immediately, I'm following.
Okay. You hear a whimper and a noise that sounds like a. Then he steps out, and you can see him cleaning a blade. You're halfway down the corridor.
Yep.
No doubt. Instinctively, you look into the doorway again. You note what described as before. This man, battered, bleeding, and he's been there for a long time. He can't get past you, Arvid.
No, I followed.
All right, you're going off.
No,
right.
no, I followed.
Yep.
I said I did follow immediately. I'm always behind, one step behind.
Right, you make yourself. You get up into the corridor that left to Arvid's private chambers and right out into the main hall, the main courtyard.
Right.
Arvid comes out. If you've got no other business with me, I need to bathe and burn these clothes.
Yeah, I can understand that. I would like a drink if possible.
Help yourself to anything you wish. It is all there for you, Semnothei.
Try and wash the smell.
Yeah. You can taste it
Yeah,
to the back of your throat. There's a film on your tongue and teeth. You step into the main courtyard. People are at this stage are
the happiness ruined. By the fact of this?
No, actually, no. There's a bit of a.
Don't
You
notice.
recognise the smell of slightly hallucinogenic scent on the air,
Right.
and the smoking and drinking. They're being a lot more open than would be normally amongst the Semnothei. It's acceptable, but you know that even amongst the tribes, they generally do. You know, they're not actual total animals. You know, they like to go off into private. They're actually, you can see there's a lot more flesh on view. People are lying out amongst themselves, entwined.
The inhibitions are a bit more relaxed.
Yes, and there's you can see that there's some like these long, tall-looking things made of wood and brass, very ornamental, very eloquent, with tubes coming from them, and these tubes have got some kind of dinner point on one end, and they seem to hold these and put them to their mouths and exhale and smoke. You've participated as the Semnothei in your own mood-altering
communing with the gods.
rituals.
Yeah.
This is very similar, but doesn't seem to have any ritualistic involvement in it.
Right. Can I sense any presence of the gods?
Absolutely zero presence of the
Zero
gods.
presence of the gods. Right. Okay.
That means that Renald's probably sitting beside you.
Probably.
But yeah, you don't feel the presence of a deity by any means, no. And they're following no ritual while they're participating in
And
this.
it's a mix of all the tribes. No,
Yes.
And this new shop, sort of people who buy and sell stuff. There's people. So it's not just normal hierarchy, but all hierarchies.
Yes, everyone is mixing with in this establishment.
And talking freely.
To a certain degree, in the sense of they're drugged and drinking. So their conversations is very more bestial.
Right. And certainly showing no inhibitions in the fact that there's a Semnothei sat not far from them.
Yeah. A lot more relaxed in your presence than you've ever experienced in your life. Well, you've never experienced people relaxed in your presence.
Yeah, that's so. This is
Even the Semnothei aren't relaxed in each other's presence.
No.
You feel like at any given time somebody's going to say, "Hey, do you want a drink?
Yeah. Just
Tell me a joke, fella." You know.
yeah, tattooed man.
He's funny. Look at his face.
Okay. Well, after taking in all that and not wishing to be part of this, not wishing to put myself in the position.
You cleanse your palate.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that I'll say I don't like the fact I don't like it around here. My mind, I'm thinking things about.
You can see his eyes, and he's obviously, your thoughts are going 50 to a dozen.
Yeah, like
That doesn't make sense either.
yeah, I'll get out of here. Right.
You see
I'm
three
sorry
ladies
that
are
I've got
coming
to take
towards
you
you.
away from your favourite haunting spot, Caradak. That you'll probably have to tell the ladies that you won't be available tonight. because you have other matters. Do you wish time to inform everyone, and maybe pay for your room? I don't know how this works. On a regular basis. Is this why you're never around? Is this why you're not doing things that I ask you to? Is it because you spend too much time here?
This is not true, Master. I'm not here as often as Ovid has claimed.
Caradak, we're ready.
Just goes to the
You turn and you can see through one of these tented areas. There's 3 ladies, a load of wine, and a pipe, some
sure?
fresh fruit.
Yeah.
That was so set up. Right. It's
Never
so
forget me, like-
set up.
I'll actually laugh at that. I'll be like, ha, ha, ha.
Come on, Carrie.
Are you sure you don't wish to spend more time here? There's nothing important in that I'm asking you to do.
But if you don't mind, you know that you're going to get a slap.
Come, let's go. You've got plenty of time to speak to the girls tomorrow night.
Carrie. Come on, Carrie. We've got pet names. Already.
Never been having your life before? Carrie! I don't know her. Specifically don't know her. Left your spear here? That's not my spear.
A beast.
It's got your name on it.
Oh.
A popular name amongst the... Right, anyways.
Right.
I'm happy to see you squirm.
Yeah, I say nothing.
I have to.
I'm just standing there looking rather awkward.
What is this Ulmi that you told him about?
Caradak, you go too far. Ulmi. What else have you been telling these girls?
I'm unaware.
Let's have a
Of what are
party.
you telling the girls?
Told them nothing, Master. Nothing.
Oh, let's go. And I'll head back out.
They're like, you can see them at the corner of your eye.
Something small.
Be careful what you stamp on down there.
No,
It's not the dog I'm worried about, it's what he leaves behind.
No, it's more what you're trying to chew me feet.
Oh, there is that as well, of course.
Yeah.
Master, I think we need to discuss something of importance.
Oh, were you still inside the...
No, you go down, you leave, you're starting to walk down the path.
Okay, I'll stop.
Object.
Tense intensity.
Tense intensity.
Yes, Caradak? Is this what you wish to tell me about the girls? I don't want to hear it.
No, it is not. You are clearly unaware. I'm duty bound to obey your every word.
I'm clearly unaware of that. Of course, I'm aware of that. Go Factoria, I'm Semnothei. Spit it out, man. What is it?
Well,
Caradak, how often have we been on the trail together? How often have we shared bread? You can tell me, and you will tell me now, because its reticence is vexatious. He said, using probably the Factoria's second one.
So the Semnothei.
Yeah. Just Talbot.
what did I just say there?
Tal just went, eh?
And Talbot himself's like going,
You tell me a dictionary. Nah, don't know what that means.
I don't know if he's going to kick us or not.
yeah, I'm going to get hit. What do you need to tell me?
I am torn between whether I'm duty bound to tell you or not to tell you.
Well, you're duty bound to tell me now because you've got my interest. What is it?
The Thuringians,
Yes.
they are being... I've executed the Thuringians.
Why?
Was ordered to.
By whom?
Zakonik.
When?
When I was asked. Oh,
What else has the Zakonik asked you to do that I didn't know about and never specifically told you to do?
this is it. So he told me specifically not to tell you. He told me if I did, that he would make my heart explode.
Well, he could do that, as all Semnothei can. However, in future, you will tell me everything Zakonik tells you not to tell me. because I am Soviet,
I understand.
and you will not tell Zachanik of this conversation. Double bluff.
Yeah.
And explodes.
I don't want to do anymore.
I got confused. Am I supposed to
Right,
tell you
Ovid, you know that proposition?
You see him just waving at you off course.
that? Just like,
I just can't take this. I can't take this anymore.
yeah. Except I am Soviet. He is Zachanik.
I'm just expecting somebody else, like Ingvar, to come in and go,
Yeah.
right,
Don't
don't
tell
tell,
anyone else."
anyone else. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm gonna go take up swimming in the river in
Yeah.
a set of iron boots.
So,
Right. You will tell me. You will tell me everything he wishes you to keep secret. I am Soviet.
I understand it. It is why I feel the need to tell you.
And did he say why he wanted those prisoners executed?
Not that,
Well-
not that I can recall.
So this has happened tonight.
Yes, he did. He questioned whether I was acting as a Vaktari should. Whether I understood that the Thuringians were a risk to you and to the Semnothei. And he asked me to. I refused. Well, I did not refuse. I asked clearly, asked the Zachanik what his orders were. He said he had done. Questioned him. I asked.
You're babbling, man. I can't understand it. Take a moment. Think about what I've just asked.
There is one thing that perhaps does come to mind, and that the Vaktari. He said that the Vaktari. Have I noticed the Vaktari is missing? Is the Vaktari that should be here
Oh,
with the Zachanik?
that's a good point. In my haste to come see.
Perhaps
King
this
Bjorn.
was threat.
It is not unusual for in a settled situation. So-
Talbot stinks. Passing notes
It's not
to-
unusual for in a settled situation, such in King Bjorn's court, for the Vaktari not to be at always at maybe. I assumed, and the assumption is on my behalf is wrong, that perhaps his Vaktari was out on messages, out and about. King Bjorn's court is extremely well settled, and the threat to the Zachanik be much reduced. Are you suggesting otherwise, that there is no Vaktari? Is that what he was suggesting, that he is?
I think the Vak isn't somebody, perhaps the Zachanik or has disposed of said Vaktari. Would I know? Sorry, stepping out of the game for a minute. Would I know which Vaktari would be posted here or not?
You don't know the Vaktari personally, but you know that each tribe, depending on its threat level, will have X amount. For example, the Thuringians have 100 Vaktari stationed there, whereas for example, the Umberogans have 1.
Right.
And that is literally, as you pointed out, in places like the Umberogan tribes, the Thuringians, etc., where the Zachaniks are safe, they're protected. The Vaktari are used as basically they're guard, but they're basically used as messaging boys. Go here, do this, and basically it's because there's no risk. They are very underutilized in certain courts. In this court specifically, they are very underutilized. But yeah, he's not here.
He's not here.
And that is unusual, clearly.
100%.
It should.
You'd have seen him by now.
Yeah,
I mean, he should be standing outside his door,
Yeah.
unless if potentially, as you point out,
Is that not unusual for me not to notice that earlier, or is it something that
He could have been.
Caradak would not?
It's kind of when he was pointing out, you were like, "Why did I not
yeah,
notice
why
that?"
not notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you would expect to turn up and be joined at some point to be, the Vaktori to go, Vaktori, and give you an update on threats. There's that handshake of knowledge of the local vicinity. We're having problems here. Be aware for the sake of the Semnothei that you've brought here.
Yeah.
This is the situation. There was none of that. You've never seen him. You've never seen him posted or patrolled. Now, potentially, because we are a game, as you pointed out, you could easily have thought, well, yeah, he's just been sent out on an errand. So, in its sense, you're not worried by that.
No, but now
Also, it's beneath you.
Yeah.
If you went to, for example, the Thuringians,
I didn't see.
and you were like, "Where's the 100 Vaktori?"
Yeah.
That would be, let's reverse quickly. That would be a sign of some serious problems coming your way. But in this case,
But obviously, this is peaked.
But you've been told specifically that obviously.
And in that moment when you've just told me that, I'm going to be wait. Who was? Oh, and I'm actually saying this, like verbalizing my wait. I think we should go back to the houses of pleasure. This time, not to see your friends. We should go back down and see who that was. To the moment of clarity. That person next door to the girl. I wonder.
Perhaps you think.
There was a man of some substance who's no longer a man of some substance. I don't know. I need you to come on, let's go.
Okay.
I wish to know who that is. Semnothei don't need to explain themselves. I just move off at pace.
Yep.
And as we get towards the two guys are there.
I was just barging.
Get out of my way. Just like move.
Okay, well, this time pretty much the streets are clear, so you get back to the establishment quickly. The guards see you coming; they know who you are already because you've only just been down the road anyway, the street. And you come in. Arvid is not there, and the place is in full swing. The music is a bit louder, and you walk in on full on, an orgy effectively. Nobody's in the private tents. Bodies swarm, oil and wine applied across the body with leaves and herbs. And you walk in there and literally take a step back as you look. You can't, for a moment, see where one body ends and another one starts. They're all just entwined. The heat in the area has been increased exponentially by this large amount of men and women involving themselves with each other, regardless of gender and location, and using objects. It's just it blows your senses for a moment until you can bring yourself back into what you're looking at. You've never ever seen the like or heard of it.
And other than that, the sort of like the what's going on in front of me and that being an assault to the senses.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that I'm sensing? I'll stop and I'm like, obviously this is not normal except out of during rituals that the Semnothei normally do, and that's what I'm sensing for. Am I sensing that a ritual's going on here?
Nope. It looks like a ritual, but you're sensing nothing. There is no presence of the gods. There's no eyes upon them.
Let's get down to that.
Understood, Master.
Area.
Well, I'll just full on barge. If I need people, I've got shield in the way. I'll get in my way. Very committed.
You're just stepping over them.
Yeah.
You step on a wrist, an ankle. You feel something snap. No sound of anger. No sound of uncomfortable. There's no scream of pain. You feel a man's ankle snap under your weight as his leg comes out as you're stepping forward. You can't help it crunch. You look down, ready for him to at least reach up towards you, ready to spear him. Nothing. Completely oblivious as you step over them. You step on bodies, and people are like, regardless of gender, shape, and size, and they don't make any move of recognition.
Right. Let's head towards that storage area.
Yeah, down the corridor, you get to the door that you recognise to be the one that takes you downstairs. You push it open. It's still lit with slow burning torches, and you head down the stairs, head onto the main floor, crouching. You shuffle your way down until the. Bear in mind that this corridor goes on considerably. This is not like the second last door.
More like a tunnel in terms of its length.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. And you get to the door based on its smell, and there's the torch between them is you can take that to look inside. You can see him still chained to the wall.
Any visible markings that would identify tribe, race, whatever, or is he just in there covered in filth?
He's been in there a long time. He's covered in filth. He's naked. His hair is, matted and long and ungroomed. He's covered in on a considerable amount of mud and dirt.
Is it locked?
It is absolutely, yeah.
I'll just call through. Victoria.
You see his head comes up weakly.
Are you the Victoria for the Umberogan court? Groaning or
that?
Right. I'm going to open this. I'm going to
do it nicely, gently, or with anger and aggression.
No, not with anger and aggression. I'm going to.
As in, are you going to make sure it can be locked again in future, or are you just going to?
No, I'm going to see if I can persuade the lock to open for me.
Click.
Yeah. And open it in. And hold my nose as I go in.
Yep.
And go towards the guy is he chained up against the wall?
Sorry. It wasn't me. It was the puppy.
Oh, right.
Oh,
there's a...
Yeah, there's a puppy beneath us. Right. Yeah, he's chained to the wall. You can see that based as you get closer. I'm assuming are you holding the light? It's farted. Who's holding the torch?
I will.
You are.
Yeah.
So he's holding the light. It's obviously casting your shadow against the man. You can see that he's not capable of movement. He won't be able to stand.
Is he chained?
He's chained to the wall.
Is he in the similar as a Thuringian or?
No, he's just chained to the wall.
And is he able to sit up?
Not that you can tell, based on his malnutrition and based on his wastage of his bones, or his muscle, and no, he is given the bare minimum with which alive, but he's going to have internal issues. The fact he's actually alive in the emaciated state doesn't bode well for his future. Walking, everything is visible. The peaks of his shoulder blades, everything. There's nothing. His skin hangs from bone.
Right. Do you have a name? Is there any water nearby? Anything that's...
There's stagnant water in bowls beside you, but in amongst the human detritus that's around him.
Right, I'll try and sort of...
Rats scurry by. There's gnawed bones.
Splash some of this stagnant water into his mouth.
Right. He's opening his mouth. You can see his teeth are almost rotted away. There's a few left. They're thick with yellow and black. His gums are rotting.
A name? What name?
He opens his mouth. You see his tongue's being removed. Torn, not cut.
I'm looking for any signs of tattoos, markings on the body.
So unlike, again, because obviously the Semnothei are allowed, and they're only allowed to be ones wearing the blue tattoos, the Victoria wear black, or do have black tattoos. They have a chance to use them, but it's pure choice. And you can see that he has very faint, heavily scarred, and a lot of it cut away. But under inspection, you do note that there are Victoria-specific tattoos.
So I will recognize him.
Correct.
Okay. So
you would to a certain degree, because things like that are not beneath your notice because of knowledge. Yeah. And they are, yes. The tattoos themselves, they're not of any particular. They don't identify a person. It just shows of this man.
Belong to a certain talent.
Correct, and that talent has, it's been dissipated amongst the Zakaniks. It was specifically given out to the tribes that needed very little to no protection.
You know this man?
Not personally, no.
I do not. I recognize the markings, the talent.
Let's get this man out of here. I would seek to spend some time getting to know his story. We're not going to do that in this filthy...
I saw pick up the chain. Is it?
It's bolted to the wall. You don't have the key.
Look at. No, I sort of do this and sort of look at master.
And again, I'm going to go into my trance and see if I can persuade the
manacles on his wrists.
Yeah,
right.
To start.
Because obviously that would be a lot easier to manipulate.
Yeah,
or just do it, as opposed to have it ripped out the wall.
Yeah, no, ripped out the wall. And then I'm going to drag all these chains with me. As well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to drag them.
True.
Wall.
Yeah. Well, you see them as if invisible hands undo them. You see the locks undo and they fall from his wrists, but he hasn't got the strength to raise his wrists even without these manacles weighing him down.
Pick him up.
Yep. Obviously, you're aware of the smell of the dirt and the slime upon him, but your swords are heavier. That's how it feels like. It is effortless. As you pick him up, his head lolls backwards alarmingly, and you literally find yourself almost juggling him to make his head come up, and it rests upon your chest and the nape of your neck.
Is there when we came down here? Is there's only one way in, one way out, and it goes all the way through that? What was happening upstairs?
Yep. As far as you know, obviously, this is the only way that you've been in and out.
Right. We need to find a cloak or something to hide him. Go over your shoulder, and we can't hide the fact that you're taking something out of here, but we can possibly hide the fact of what it may be. Prying eyes.
You can see as you're looking around, I mean, there's nothing down here. This is not what this place is designed for. There'll be Hessian sacks in the storage areas closer to the stairs. However, you do note as you're looking that this guy is crippled. There is no way that this guy is surviving any of this. His best chance would be that somehow he can be slowly nursed back to health, but he'll never walk again. His arms and legs have been broken multiple times. His ribs are and have been fractured so many times that they're not rounded and they don't protect in a... he's in a bit. His internal organs. The ribs are literally just lumps of shattered. His sternum is parted slightly. The fact he's alive is a miracle. He's obviously, there's you can understand that basically from, he would have been like yourself, very powerfully built, very capable and physical. But by the time you get to this stage, it doesn't matter what your training was. There's nothing left of him. His jaw's been broken. His teeth are gone. His nose is almost flat. He's on close inspection, earlobes have been cut off. This guy's gone through considerable amount of pain and torture that the Semnothei themselves, that in your knowledge, would not put a human being through this, even during the darkest of rituals. This is beyond anything you've seen before.
But regardless, we'll pick him up, put him on my shoulder, and then when we get to a place where...
That'll put too much pressure on his body. You can see from the injuries.
Okay,
You literally
so
you're cradling him like a child.
Okay, so I'll cradle him until we get to a point where I can get enough sort of clothing, that kind of... I'm sure there's plenty of them lying around now.
Well, if you're going to go up to the top, you can grab any of them, because the clothes are literally just discarded everywhere.
So
but there is Hessian sacks down in this area. If you want to
we'll just use that,
stick a sack over him.
Stick a sack over him,
Yeah. So you just walk out with a...
Yeah.
Because you just cover him over it, you can literally just strip it, open it up with a knife, and just stick it over him.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. Again, when you leave, you come upstairs to the centered area. People are still involved in this, whatever this is, and are completely oblivious to you. You are specifically alert for anyone, even a set of eyes in the middle of this, staring intently. There is nothing. Their eyes are glazed. So glazed and removed that you're pretty sure they don't even know what they're doing themselves, but they're doing it with a lot of intention to detail. And you step out. Of course, you've got the two guards ahead of you. They're aware of people coming. The whole point is to watch the door, but also people leaving, and they see you coming, and immediately step out of your way.
Right. When I draw alongside them both, I'll point. Yeah, two guys.
Yep.
So nothing. Will not report this to Arvid. I find out that you're coming. That you report this to Arvid. That I've been back again. Your still living corpse, your still living and breathing bodies will be a wonderful exemplar to anyone else not to underestimate the Semnothei. Am I understood?
Yes, my lord. Yes, master.
Right. Carry on. Let's get this guy back.
Yep.
We're going to head back to... we need somewhere. You know of anywhere in your travels, Caradak? Biting puppy. That's not Caradak the biting puppy.
Caradak the biting puppy.
That's a different scenario. Different rise of the biting puppy. Do you know of anywhere that you've come across during your travels that we can get up? Get off. They can. Sorry. Dogs biting the wires.
The puppy that's followed us.
For those of you that missed the beginning of this, we've got an 8-week-old border collie running around under the table,
biting
which would normally, in better circumstances, be looked after. But we've got no one. I don't want to lock her away.
Is there anywhere we can go?
At the end of the show, we'll introduce you to Freya.
Yeah. Is there anywhere that you remember seeing where we could put this man?
I do not, Master. My spare time, I did so.
So
nevertheless, it doesn't matter.
It depends on what you're... So out of being quickly, right? So basically, you're being vague in the sense of he doesn't want to second guess what you consider to be important to him. I'm putting words into your mouth here. Ultimately, you both know of, you specifically, down at the docks, there are all kinds of storage areas for the fishing equipment, nets, barrels, cages, etc. You've got storage for tools. They're down the dock and along the Great Hall. There's plenty of things like that you are both aware of, you specifically.
This man's not capable of being left, though, is he really?
He has been left. It depends on what you're hoping to get him. If you're suddenly trying to save his life, then there's no sneaking around going to be able to do that. It depends on what you have to. He's already in better conditions than he was.
Right. Let's just get back to the Great Hall and back to my rooms. This is where he can go. Back to your rooms, not my rooms. He's not going anywhere near my bed.
You don't have rooms.
That's why I referred to.
Doesn't have anywhere. Well, let's get him back to the Great Hall. I want to find out more about this man.
Okay. Obviously, approaching the Great Hall, there's still a few people in there, but it's nearly empty. You've still got the guards on the front.
Yeah, but I don't have to hide anything from them.
No. Okay. So obviously, there is curious. They avert their gaze at your presence. As you look at them. However, they do obviously look up to see you carrying a covered shape, we'll say. Yeah, presumably you've got him wrapped up against the cold, as well as just to protect him. As you walk through inside the Great Hall, because you are moving in what is considered to be fairly empty, there are some cursory glances. However, it's a Victorian, a Semnothei. Nobody wants to stare at them for long. Yeah. And if you are sort of glaring at people as you walk in, they are deliberately going, they might say, I think he carried a sack in, and
I think I don't want to know what he was carrying in.
Yeah, exactly. We don't ask for the Semnothei. And you pass through the Great Hall. Obviously, King Bjorn is now gone, and you head into your main room.
Yeah.
And we shall call it there.
Oh, what? Oh, man, I've got all sorts of questions. I know. So, anyways, I'll just call into work tomorrow and tell them that I'm having a mental health day, and I'll take the rest of the week off just to finish this off. I need to know what's going on.
So, right, we've got a few viewers on here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Aero, that's me. You saw the disclaimer. Your first message was, "Oh my God, you're in a green room." That's badass. Honestly, it got stopped by the mod, but we've allowed it. So that's why it's slightly out. If you're still watching, Kotex Holt, thanks very much for being on here. And Casino Contact. We had Sunflower Gaming was hosting us for a while. So we saw that come. So thank you very much, Sunflower Gaming, for that. And so I don't know who's with us now. If any of you are still here, if you've walked.
So now we can chat.
Yeah.
So chat away. Chat away.
If anybody has anything to say, any comments on what they've just heard, about who they've heard, what they looked at, what's going on. If you've turned up and you have no idea of what the hell the game's about,
I have so many ideas that I think I know what's going on, and I can't believe you've stopped it now because I was like, and. It was in the library with a hammer, and the murderer is Poirot. I mean, I think I know what's going on. Well, I think I know the direction I want to take this to try and solidify what I think's going on.
Well, it's up to you, obviously. From the actor's point of view, you've got Ulmakor, you've got Caradak, and we can review what's happened. Yeah. We could talk about the inner monologue, what the thought was going on at that time. Mm-hmm. We've got a little bit of viewing time still going on. It's Demon 1290 says, "Hi guys, how's it going?" I don't know if you've just joined us or if you've been with the show. We're just doing the after show talk, where the guys are going to basically have a chat about what they have just experienced over the last 2 hours through their characters, what they perceive. So you let's talk about the inner monologue.
I think Arvin's more than just a procurer of delights and pleasures. With that last scene with what's going on, that's not Semnothei. It's ritual. It's something that's not normal. The people who are involved wouldn't normally put themselves in that sort of ecstatic position, even when the Semnothei do it. And again, it's all out in the open. That's not. I don't want to say it's not normal because ecstatic ritualists is stuff that the Semnothei get involved with, regularly. That's normal to us. But who's doing that? There's no Semnothei here. And for them to do it with a group of people in such blatant public, again, that's not right. I couldn't feel the gods. So something's going on. Arvid's something. He's not.
Arvid, yeah.
Yeah, Arvid's not just a flesh and pleasure procurer. He's not just. That's not what his thing. There's something more to him. And the fact that he was giving me unsubtle hints, about what happened to people like me in his own culture, on reflection. I'm not happy with that. You don't threaten me like that because I'll have you on a pole before you can say, "Oh, that's sticking through my innards."
Yeah, we beheaded your lot.
Yeah, it's
We
like,
don't have people like you anymore. We beheaded them in our culture. Oh.
Right. So
Uh,
there's stuff
yeah.
going on with that, and I don't necessarily know in terms of Erstad. Well, that's why I want to speak to this Vakhtari, or I'm going to try and communicate with this Vakhtari somehow to find out what's going on when this all happened with him. But it's all, well done, mate. It's getting pretty like, oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, it's Sea Demon. I think you've come in and obviously what he's talking about.
So
Yeah.
Demon's obviously he's been recommended, and
Thank
yeah, so we've got, and he's just followed us again. So thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
very
that.
much for the follow, buddy.
So yeah, very quickly, this is episode 6 of A Rise of an Empire. So it's a fantasy setting. It's based loosely on the Warhammer world, based in pre-time proto-empire, with the a power ruling the tribes of man, known as the Semnothei, and their warrior protectors called the Vakhtari. So they're in the Umberogan tribes in Reikdorf. It is prior to the birth of Sigma. Just Queen Griselda is pregnant with the future emperor, and basically it is how does canon Games Workshop's Warhammer world get to where it is in 2,500 years' time, and there is no mention at all. They all talk about the rise of Sigma and how he brings the tribes together. How is there no talk of the Semnothei and the Vakhtari? They're written from history. What's their story? Who are they? And what's their part in this? And you've come in episode 6, where a lot of the plot is unfolding as we speak. We're in Reikdorf, the future site of Altdorf. King Bjorn and Queen Griselda have just been informed that the Queen and their child by Erstad Drago are in jeopardy during birth, and they must sacrifice Alvar,
Alvar.
the King Bjorn's Redmond Drago's father's champion. And this is these parts are being played by Nevin is playing Ulmakor, the Semnothei. Amongst the Semnothei, he's a high-ranking council member. He's very high up the food chain, and basically we've got Caradak being played by Talbot, and he's his bodyguard and sworn warrior, sworn shield. And they've basically turned up and they found out that they're not too sure about Erstad, what's going on. They see that Reikdorf has become a city in its own right, a trade centre, and that goes against the Semnothei's wishes and needs. And they found this foreigner, effectively, from the Southern Isles somewhere, called Arvid, running a business, which they've never come across before. And they've just found one of the Vakhtari in a dungeon, effectively.
Yeah. And whilst that's nothing unusual for the Vakhtari to be potentially chastised, it's unusual to find, or the bit that's the unusual part is it's something that Erstad hasn't just said, because it's within his purview to chastise and brutalise and even kill his own Vakhtari, because hey, that's what they're there to serve, and if they don't serve correctly, things can happen to them. It's the fact that it's going on in this southerners hidden celery area, that celery area. Celery area. That's
the cucumber section.
That's the
you don't want to go to the Cabbage Patch
yeah,
Kid.
crikey.
Oh.
The celery area. You're making them eat celery. You're already humane.
The horror.
Well, oh God, celery. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, it's going on again. It's the fact that Arvid's involved intimately in what should be Semnothei business. Why is he involved in Semnothei business? On top of the fact that I've just seen some sort of ecstatic. I don't know if it's a ritual, because there's nothing that I could sense as being contacted, but certainly the mechanism would be what I would expect to see in a Semnothei ritual. Maybe it's not one of ours, but ritualistic. And yet again, it's in Arvid's territory. What's going on? So that's what I want to find out.
You've saved the Vakhtari.
Well,
what is going on with? I mean, that's an interesting little twist from Erstad. Was he taunting you, or was he trying to get you to do? Was he manipulating you?
Well,
Was he trying to get you to do? Was he trying to get you to kill the Thuringian prisoners to make that choice yourself? Because ultimately, he gave you the order. And why has he said, "Don't tell you"? Because of course you've said he's told me not to tell you, and you're gonna at some point presumably you're gonna go. And you said, "Don't tell him," and he's gonna go, "No, I didn't." You're a tool. Even to him, you're still a tool.
Yeah, no.
You're in a hell of a situation. You've got two above reproach powers, and a dog that is just farted.
Oh, nice.
That as well as intoxicating. If you're into rotting death.
I was going to say, if by intoxicating you mean like, what have you been eating, animal?
Yeah.
Damn me.
Yeah, so you know,
Basically.
if suddenly
I've gone straight to the dungeon. I'm in the moment.
you're there now.
I am there now, and I'm there with the badly
Very real.
Because
beaten.
it's let's be honest, right? So it's
Yeah.
been talked about in previous episodes how you're how Caradak is out of his depth. Right now,
He's sinking.
you've got a power play between two Semnotheis, obviously of different rank, but both are more powerful than you, right? And rank wise, not you, obviously, and Caradak. So Caradak was out of his depth. What do I do? How do I deal with this? And now, you're so far. You are literally underwater at this point. You know, what do you do? How do you see Caradak getting through this problem? Because
Alive.
if you've kind of told him the truth, but that in itself could have had you killed.
It could have done, but then I obviously
Him,
Cast-
him, not you.
yeah, but
Because Talbot's not in danger.
No, we are a game, yeah. Though. So Caradak, the way Caradak sees it is that I'm aware that I could annoy one Semnothei and end up dead, betray another one and end up dead. So I'm like stuck, in the middle of
Either way, you're dead.
I'm either way I'm dead. So to be
So
fair,
why did Caradak come clean? Why did he
I
tell?
think
So Caradak clears up the murder scene, the execution scene. He was done what he was told.
Yeah.
He was told to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
And then he tells him, but down the road, was it because he's thought back and went, for no apparent reason, I'm walking down the street and went, hey, what do you want to do about these? And then tomorrow we're going to find them dead, and he's going to go and stare at you.
Yeah.
Was it because you shouldn't have said that, and you thought, are you kind of do you think he's dealing with the lies, but not being very good at it? Because is it guilt? I think what I'm trying to get at is, why did Caradak come clean?
Yeah.
When he got away with it.
Yeah.
There's no forensics, for example. They're not going to be able to
No,
look at him and go,
there isn't.
oh, that's the...
But I think it's because he isn't able to lie. So yes, so the way Caradak saw that moment was, and how he broke it down, and I was like, obviously writing all this down to say why did he act the way he did, and I think the reason why is because he's got more loyalty to Ulmakor than anyone else.
Mm.
He recognizes that. He also recognizes that you're a Soviet, and I think.
And he's only a Zakonik.
And he's only a
Which, for the
Zakonik.
viewers, that's
Yeah.
the Zakonik is the first registered recognisable rank of a Semnothei. And there's multiple grades within that, but Soviet is the ruling council of 6 underneath the Visok, which is the highest position.
So the only way I got around that was like, well, yes, he's given me an order, but then so has the Soviet. The Soviet's given me an order that I will report, because he clearly does say in other episodes that, if you hear and see anything, report back to me.
So why didn't he say it earlier?
Because there was a part of Caradak which he wasn't gonna say anything, because he was like, no, Semnothei has given me the order. I recognize that whether it's a Zakonik or a Soviet, a Semnothei is a Semnothei, and their order is.
But then, of course, there was the other bit where,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about a previous episode. Have you been drinking? No.
No,
Yes.
that was one of those awkward moments where Talbot had forgotten. And I was just like, no, I haven't.
Lying?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
Just the
right.
one though.
So again, you're setting the position where the Semnothei is going, this person doesn't. He's telling me the truth eventually.
Still telling you the truth though. Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
That's
Eventually, and as for the fact that I've never hardly ever been here in my entire life, barring the couple of occasions you told me to come here, and yet apparently he's got his own room with his name on it.
got
Half
a
the
plaque
crowd
on the wall.
yeah, like everyone knows you're a member of the 100 Pint Club.
Well, of course, yeah, you just turned up. But then again, of course, there was no, Ulmakor would have seen that Caradak was taken aback by this. So this is obviously, you're like, well, I understand why you're hanging out here.
Yeah, yeah.
You were like, hey, I've missed out. You'll be inviting me to this party. But potentially, if you hadn't been here, you'd have been involved in this.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
Or Caradak would have been anyway.
not Talbot.
No, Talbot wouldn't be. So I think
TRH99. Thank you.
I don't have anything to look at. Well, I'll stare at the
you
camera.
should bring up your phone and then
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
log in
because I
and check it out as well.
No. Yeah, TRH, by the way, just he's one that recommended It's a Demon. So that's
Thank you very much for that. We've got both you on there. I think
Yeah.
Demon's still with us today as well.
So
Hopefully.
thank you for that.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming in and
appreciate it,
talking to us.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a 2-hour episode, and I don't think everybody was here for the start to finish.
Yeah.
Feedback, people's
Yeah,
beliefs
well,
and
that's
thoughts.
it.
what they
Hopefully one day. I
expect.
know this is unique to a lot of people. I mean, storytelling and gaming, and people see Dungeons and Dragons guys. You sit in a room, sometimes dark and sometimes, and you talk about things and role play. And I don't get it. Sounds dirty. A
I don't know
lot
why
of
you
people
went there.
don't get it because you try and go, oh, what's role playing? They don't get it. So this is what we do. We try and take
On Sundays.
On
Sundays,
Sundays,
yeah.
we role play and take all the stuff we don't enjoy and
Just pure story.
keep the stuff that we do enjoy, and that's the storytelling part of it, the aspect of it, and hopefully, like we say, Netflix is watching.
And Amazon
I was
Prime.
gonna say
Amazon
Amazon-
Prime.
I'm-
Oh yeah, because
I'm
we've
more
seen Amazon. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we love Amazon. So
Because instead we've
So
got
if you like
the
the
Beastmaster. So yeah, so at least we know that. Well, I'm hoping. I'm hoping as a person watching. Because bear in mind that even though that I'm sort of dictating the story itself, it's interesting to me to see the characterization and how people are interacting with each other. And the thing that gets me is that, or what I like to think, is that we're going to see the Semnothei, Ulmakor, appreciating Caradak's honesty. That in this case, he sort of went, "Yeah, I killed him." There's nobody knows why. Sorry, one second. Can we get prime loot from the channel? If you tell me how. There's many cats and dogs.
There's 3 cats.
Yes, I would assume so. I don't know how to do it because we're still fresh. This is literally like we're still brand new to all this.
Yeah.
I could barely get the technology in the green room up and running. But we've got multiple cats, multiple dogs, and TR, if you know of a quick way for me to do it, I can run upstairs to the main machine and set it all off. But yeah, I would love to be able to do it. If not, send me a private message.
Yeah, let us know.
And we're broadcasting 3 or 4 times a week. And if you tell me how to do it, then I'll make sure that you can. I just don't know how to.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Yep.
Still learning.
So do I need to introduce you guys to the zoo? So we've got 4 cats, a bearded dragon. I'm not getting the rats out. And there's a puppy here called Freya. Who wants to? Do you want to meet Freya?
Yeah, get
Do you
Freya
want
out.
to meet the 8-week-old?
Do you want to see the
Border
puppy?
collie?
Who
The
wants to
puppy?
see the puppy?
The toe biter.
So we've been traumatized. She hasn't started her training yet as a cattle dog, but because she's 8 weeks old, she's had her first injection, and she's running under the table. She's biting toes, making little yapping noises, grabbing heels, and she just dropped a stink bomb. I'm going to try and grab a hold of her.
Yeah. And let me tell you, it stinks. And now the cat. Stop it, cat.
Look at that. I think it's broke.
Yeah, yeah, that one's dead.
This is when our viewings go up through
Yeah,
the
yeah.
roof.
Well, wait a minute. Oh,
This is when our viewings go
Don't
through
point
the
that, that's
roof
dangerous.
because we've got a puppy.
Which camera am I going to go to? I'm going
No,
to.
just go,
Why-
probably that one would be the
I
best.
can't see now. Of course, you'll have to check the main screen.
I'm just leaning over. Oh yeah, you can see. And,
So this is our
yeah, you can
mascot Freya. Is that good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
8-week-old border collie, mum and dad, working dog, cattle and sheep. This is our beautiful little girl. She's tired herself out over the last 2 hours, attacking us, wires, cats, you name it. And now she's lying collapsed on the floor. So that's why she's looking a little bit tired and a bit droopy. But look at those eyes, 2 blues. Huh? That's our little Freya. But yeah, if you need us to start doing petting zoos, then obviously
yeah, we're gonna.
we've completely got our audience wrong.
We'll just move on away from. You don't want to do role playing. You want us to see us petting the puppies.
Right, fair enough. We'll
What have we
rechange that.
got today? So, anything else? Is any of you guys that have seen some of the episodes, or maybe some of today's, you got any questions about any of the protagonists, the NPCs, about the players, the characters, anything to do with theme with this particular Rise of an Empire?
Sorry, going back to the execution of the Thuringians.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why I chose to do it that way. I was hoping that that was another option, another way of Ulmakor finding out and going, these have been executed a certain way.
I wonder if he's one of those murderers that has to put a tell in there because he
Yeah,
really
yeah,
wants to be
yeah.
caught.
He wants to be caught. Like exactly right there. And I'll
There's
just
going to be a spade of
and I'll
people
just-
with sword blades down their backs.
and just a little C etched into it. I'm going to C etched into it. Yeah.
I don't know what he's reading because there's nothing on my
I
screen.
don't know.
No, TR, you'll probably understand it better than I do.
What English
Yeah.
reading?
Right. I think because I'm coming to the end of this broadcast, what I'll do is, if it's all right with you, well, there's nothing else I can do. I'm going to go upstairs. I'll follow your instructions, TR. And then basically what I'll do is I'll get that all up and running. I'll give you a shout, make sure that you get to quickly pop in when we broadcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays, etc. And then you can grab us based on the information you passed me, you can fill your boots. Anything else I could do? In fact, yeah, we might take it a bit step further. So I'll meet up with you. We'll check up, not physically, obviously. We'll DM.
Pain.
I wonder if the Targaryens had to put up with this with their final dragons. You know, if they had cats that were bigger than them chewing on their skulls in the throne room.
Yeah, probably.
This is Leah, by the way. This is the barrel bread shaped. She's about 3 years old, as delicate as can be. She's never used her claws on anything, including the other cats. Yeah, what the hell was I saying? Distracted now. Right, so, TR, I'll get that sorted out. I'll give you a shout. Thank you very much for the heads up. Guys, for everyone that's watching and watching this video later on, we will set that up to go.
Sleeper Kid.
And we'll get the Prime Loot up and running for our next broadcasts. Apologies that I didn't get it up and running now. I didn't know it was a thing. Didn't know it was important. And
Yeah,
hopefully you guys can spread the word once, you know. Any other hints and tips?
Yeah.
Send them our way. Send them our way.
Yeah, we'll go from
Got
there.
Sleeper Kid in here now.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Sleeper Kid. How you doing?
And Ambitious Swine 3. They're all just sitting in there talking to each other, you know.
Oh, they are, yeah. Just ignore us.
He can't say anything, by the way.
No,
He's not teched up.
I'm blissfully unaware. My phone's too old for that. In fact, where is my phone? My phone's down
It's
there.
in there.
Thank you for coming in, Sleeper Kid. We just obviously happened to chat about the role-playing session that we did, the story-based role-play that we do every Sunday. So if people are coming in and going, what on earth is going on? If you've even piqued your interest, then please do have a look at the
YouTube channels.
the YouTube channel or all the other episodes that we've done, and catch up on the story, and then we can have a chat about the stories on Sundays. See how we're doing. If you have anything to discuss regarding the campaign or the characters that Talbot and Nevin are playing, and this is the opportunity for you to do it.
I was just checking to see if I could easily find out how to turn this on now while everybody's here, but I can't find that anywhere. I'll have to spend more time with it, I think.
Do you know how to?
No idea.
We'll have to figure that out as well. So unfortunately, we don't know how to do raids either. So it would be a good opportunity to learn how to do that. So when we have viewers and we can support another streamer with raids.
So Prime Loot is on my list to work out how to turn that on.
So yeah,
and also
Prime
how to
Loot
raid
and
people.
raiding.
So yeah, right. That all said and done. So there's a couple of things for me to pick up on there. Thanks very much for that, guys. And hopefully you'll be with us next Sunday. However, before then, we're going to go and do some Xboxing on Tuesday. We're going to be playing Destiny 2. You'll find myself, Talbot, and Holt. Nevin, you're not available for that. So we're going to be doing Destiny 2.
Just saying, Linda. Linda, massive shout out to Linda if you're watching. Hi, Linda. Come on, say hi to Linda, everybody. Hi, Linda. It's a demon said, could you give Linda a shout out? Linda, you're fantastic. You're awesome. If you're watching.
I'm assuming Linda is watching through you, Demon, in which case...
Linda's the best.
Nice to meet you, both. So on... there is a delay. Your wave just came through there.
Oh, right.
Did it? Sorry, it's my nan. Okay.
I think we're going to have to wait for the cameras to catch up.
Hi, Nana Linda.
Well, audio's probably online, but we're visual.
Oh, okay.
It's delayed.
That's your nan. Well, nice to meet you,
Nice
nan,
to meet you,
Linda.
Nan,
Yeah, so my video is delayed. It'll catch up in a minute. Apologies for that. Don't know why that happens. It just does. It might be just Streamlabs OBS that we're using. It's a bit of software. It's mainly beta, I think, as opposed to what most people are using. So yeah, so Tuesday at 8 o'clock GMT, we're going to do Destiny 2. Yes, we do play video games. Xbox One, we're going to be doing Destiny 2 on Tuesday from 8 for a few hours. We're then going to be looking at Thursday night. We'll be playing Battlefield 4. That's all three of us, including Holt, who's actually in the room with us now. Or he should be, Holt.
But he's not.
We're playing Battlefield 4. When we play video games, we play them incredibly badly.
I
I try to play the best I can. And I suppose you could say that about the other guys.
Yeah.
No.
What is he talking about?
We are supremely.
Don't-
You see, the real technical challenges to make it. When you're fantastic, like we are,
absolutely.
making yourself.
Like I keep saying, we're the elite fighting force.
We are elite.
We are
fighting. And
100%
for us,
elite.
The skill that's required to make us look so bad for me and Talbot
Holt here.
is actually so much harder than. I mean, anyone can just go around and play the game and win
Anyone
it.
can,
But the way that we do it,
everyone can shoot straight.
of course.
Come on.
But you know,
it's it's,
Go on.
but that's my point. Everyone,
yeah, that's harder to do.
we don't like to follow the crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
Kane, we're
I
different.
hold. Yeah, so if you watch our Twitch videos that are up there, we've got some short ones, 30-second clips. We've also got some highlights up there, 2 and 4 hours long. You can actually see how Talbot and Nevin are progressing, sort of.
The phrase "I'm covered in bees" just comes to mind because it's just
Yeah.
like running around shouting,
Uh-huh.
"I'm covered in bees!
Actually,
I'm
it's
covered in
it's
bees!"
basically, where are you? I think is the
yeah,
is
where are
the
you? Yeah, that's the
Right, yeah.
that's the
main-
Cortex motto. Where are you?
Where are you?
Unfortunately, they're medics,
Yeah.
so most of us
I need
don't
a
get
medic.
picked up.
Where are you?
Find your own medic.
You are my medic. So yeah, that's Battlefield 4 badly, as we call it. So Battlefield 4 is Thursday from 7 o'clock PM GMT. Again, Tuesday is Destiny 2. That's the given. We're definitely doing those. We are looking at Friday nights, early Saturday mornings, but we're not sure yet if we are, what time and what we'll play. Have I missed anything else?
No, but I feel like we just need to stay online now because we're getting so much. Are you guys doing Battlefield 5?
So, right, we did say next week. Good, I'm glad that you pointed that out. So we said next week that we were going to start playing Red Dead 2. However, we found out, or have been told, that the multiplayer doesn't go live for a couple of weeks. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to play Battlefield 4 on a Thursday and Destiny 2 on Tuesdays with the roleplay on Sundays. We will continue to do so until Red Dead's multiplayer comes out. We will then play Red Dead multiplayer until whatever the content is done. We're not expecting it to have the shelf life of Battlefield 5, which goes on for 5 or 6 years. So we're going to play Red Dead 2 together. Once we're done that, we're going to move on to Battlefield 5. So we're going to allow Battlefield 5 to come out, get through its issues, like all first-day releases can be, let people get involved, and then we will move on to Battlefield 5. So we'll keep an eye out for you, Demon, if that's what you're looking at. But we're going to be doing Red Dead 2 first. Probably take us through till January for Red Dead 2, since we're going to be playing it once a week.
But yeah, it's a demon. If you're absolutely 100% sick of people shooting straight and being able to shoot, I mean,
Wondering where they are.
come and watch us. Yeah.
Well, so Deems has asked there is, do we think that the Red Dead will be as buggy as GTA Online? I think basically comparing it to the original Red Dead, which I've got experience of and so does Holt, the original online mode for Red Dead was buggy. It was terrible. They eventually fixed it. It's like a lot of games, even the biggest developers, they come out when their release comes out and they've got to make some changes. They have to patch it quickly. But as old Sea Dog, thanks very much for coming on, yeah, mate. I don't know if you've been lurking or just caught us at the end. When has Rockstar ever had a good release for online? And that's the main, never, I think, is the answer. So do I think Red Dead, because I'm the one that's going to have this knowledge, these guys don't know. Do I think that Red Dead's going to have a good release for multiplayer? No, I don't. But we're going to try our best, and maybe it's just us, and you'll see us doing I suppose swearing at the screen and give Rockstar a good verbalising.
Don't we know someone who works there? Should we not give?
We do actually know somebody that works deep within Rockstar,
We're giving him abuse.
I might send him a link for our video so that he can come on here and defend Rockstar, and you might actually get the reaction that you need, because I know that he's very much involved in GTA and Red Dead.
We do know that particular person, and he's going to get a hammering if it turns out he. Do your job, person that we know.
Yes.
Do your actual job.
Fix it, and give us money.
Yeah.
Which he never does, by the way. We've tried. I have tried.
The story would be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Do your job.
Do your job, yeah.
So that's basically what we're doing now. We've got that all up and coming. We're going to increase our broadcasts as we go forward, because more people are actually starting to watch us, whereas in the past it was a little bit of a thankless job, a bit boring for ourselves, but our content's out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that. We're not a single person coming out here doing one thing, staring at the camera and just monologuing. It's a group of us, even though we are the Cortex group. We are made up of several people. We are the role-playing side of it. Holt will one day join us on the table. And it's because we've got a cat on the screen, because internet. Exactly, dog. We've
Just
got one
need
of four guys. I wish you would turn and look.
Yeah.
We just need a
Take it to your
trainer to
face.
play the piano, and then that's it.
Well,
Internet broken.
This is the fifth character that'll be coming in.
That's it.
You're looking at the
Maybe
one of the
get some
senior,
t-shirts made up,
this is the senior-
cat-sized
senior
t-shirts.
Semnothei, I don't know, werecat.
It is a Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
It's not.
Oh no, I know it's
No,
not.
it's not.
I know it's not. We're in the
I tell
Tomb
you
Raider.
what. I tell you what. Then, how about, because I can't do much about it, but just for kudos and shout outs, where is that background? What's it from? Does anyone recognise it? Do they know what it is?
Ooh.
Right. And if you do, then it's lots of kudos. We're going to tell everyone how fantastic you are, how you are obviously
where it's from?
incredibly
I
intelligent.
don't even have a clue.
I don't know where it's from.
So I can't even
Cortex
get.
cat.
I can't even get.
You don't even know what you've looked at.
I was like, oh.
No, there's more than one.
But just to completely throw that all the way out, you see it's scrolled down now. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'll leave that. I'm going to close that off in a minute. So yeah, you've got to work out what the background is. Here's another one, in fact. See what happens if I press. No, I'm not going to press that.
Don't press that. For Christ's sake.
I don't know what happened there. Oh, hey, I've just highlighted your face.
Huh?
Oh, the pen's turned off again. This stupid thing.
Is it?
No, that's not the one I wanted to show you either.
This is the Cortex way of doing things. I'll press this button. What does that do?
I think I wanted to press that one. Look at that. Anyone recognise that? It's the same place. Big shout out for anybody down the line if you know what it is. Because I'm just curious if you recognise it.
Is it that?
Yes.
Yes!
But what's it called?
What, the place?
Ah! No!
Oh,
Can't see that one. La 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 la. You didn't see that. Like the dog has just reached out and attacked me foot. Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Assassin's Creed. I guessed right.
It's not. Was that your guess? It's
No,
not.
no,
Assassin's Creed.
just Itsy Demon said it looks like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and that one I have no idea. I just found it. It's cool. So that's where we're supposed to have been.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's it, really, isn't it? Thank you very much, everybody, for coming on. We're far more active now that we've stopped actually gaming. We're just talking
That's
rubbish.
what I'm saying. It would just be like, we just have a whole chat show, game show.
Just.
Yeah, I need to put out a voting system here to say, do you want us to just talk?
We'll
to
just
you?
we'll just have a game show about random pictures and
We
Guess the
could review
picture.
movies,
review movies, we can
review
do
games,
movies.
give your
Actually,
opinion.
do you know what? I don't mind doing that. If you want us to just talk gibberish, we'll talk gibberish. If you want us to review a movie that you've seen, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I've seen this.
Except for the horror ones.
Really,
I
I don't care. I'll do the horror ones.
I don't want to do the horror
I'll do
ones.
the horror ones, even though we don't like it.
Demon 1290 has just become my best friend, by the way. He's actually increased beyond your level.
Why?
Really?
Yeah.
After all these years, really?
Yep. No, I do love Demon and his nan Linda.
Well, yeah, Demon. Yeah, we love.
Because I've got a screen in front of me. I'm gonna have to go to the recording. And go, well, what happened?
Why does Kane love? Why does Kane love
Why?
Demon?
Yeah.
Kane love Demon.
Kane love Demon.
Love Demon. Yeah, and check us out at some point. Now, this is a slight, just in terms of horror. There may be something in the air about horror that we'll be doing later on that you'll see.
We'll get
The Cortex way of doing things that, when it comes to things that go bump in the night, that will just make you will blow your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Nana Linda's going to be our biggest fan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nana
You don't
Linda, man.
I haven't got anything in front of me. I have no concept of what you're on about.
We know what you're talking about.
Someone
we
loves
know.
Kane more
Talbot
than
knows.
right, and
Someone loves me.
don't know.
Well, Talbot loves me, apparently, according to his vlog.
I do love him. I'll tell him, yeah. I'll tell him from
Whereas
the
I
world.
spend my entire time
Awkward.
just
I love
sort of
everybody.
like saying, "Can you do your job, please?"
Yeah.
What Nevin was hinting at there, actually, just to take it a bit further forward, I could do with a little bit of advice. If you'd like to send me a message, you can find me on Twitter. I think the Cortex Group, at the Cortex Group. It's us, obviously, but I view that, I follow that exclusively. I need information on how to make Twitch mobile.
Yeah.
I need to know how to be mobile. If I can have GoPros, cameras, what the tech is involved. We need to be mobile, running around the place, head cams, you name it. And if I work that out, if I can get that going, we're going to take you somewhere that I've never seen Twitch take us. You're going to see the Cortex Group on the road doing something special. And I think
Perfectly legal.
Yeah.
and there'll be,
It's like,
and a bit of screaming.
oh, there'll
So
be lots of screaming.
if you can send me any information links, how to make Twitch mobile,
Yeah.
we'll give you the big shout out. We'll do the reward system. We'll do everything we can to make
Good
sure that
fortune.
everyone knows you're the guys that made the Cortex Group mobile and dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you never know where we're going to turn up then.
Yeah.
That
We've talked about this a long time. Yeah, trying to get
We can get this
out
mobile.
there and about because
Jimmy.
we've got other hobbies. without going too much into it.
Yeah, anyways, if we can get mobile,
You're gonna love it. That's the
if
point.
we can get mobile, there's a plan that
Yes.
we've got that'll just be like, that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah,
It may be an utter disaster, maybe in terms of
No,
podcasting,
I have full
but
faith in it. I think it's going to be
I
brilliant.
certainly know in terms of just
not-
hilarity,
No,
it's
it
going to
ain't going to be disaster. It's going to be great.
It's
And I
gonna
know it's going to
be-
be great.
be hilarious. If we can get that
100%.
done.
Put it this way, I'll definitely be premiering that episode. You'll all be aware of what's coming up, and you'll
yeah,
have the
yeah.
big word there. You'll know what it is, what it's going to be.
It's gonna be
And
so much fun.
you can join us, you can share it with us. So yep, so OC Dog, yes, exactly. Watch the space, Cortex in real life, airsoft, paintball.
Yeah.
No, mate, it's not, but I think you're going to love it. And so Sea Dog's actually given us a couple of things. 4G, the app on your phone. So I need to link these. I need to make sure we've got data. We've got night sights because it's got to be at night.
It's got to be at night.
And yeah, you can basically watch myself, Nevin, hopefully Holt, and some various other guests and friends invited to the show. Will basically get to come with us and yeah, be on screen. So that's all to be revealed
Yep.
once I've done that. So any private messages, any information on what hardware I need to go mobile. If not, we'll see you on our normal broadcasts. And I think based on the incoming messages that we've got here, I think we're going to end up doing some role playing, do some online game, and also just sitting here like Hale and Pace used to in the 90s
Just talk about things.
and go, right, what do you want us to talk about? What's our opinion and influence?
Sorry, I thought it was the dog rubbing my leg. It's
me. I like to play
you.
footsie when I'm bored.
just
When
like-
I don't.
So we'll just pull this scene to a close because
I am actually.
Yeah, talking about going back to the Sergeant Sprout. Yeah, I've got Sergeant Sprout on I can't remember the word now. Twitter. Sergeant Sprout. Yeah, he's very good.
Oh right, okay.
Sergeant Sprout.
I didn't know if that was a
So,
program or what.
If Sergeant Sprout isn't watching, or if he's
Well, we might just do
lurking,
that as we
yeah,
might
he's
just
great.
do one of the things. We'll have a chat about whether we should just do a review of something or whether we get together and you can just hear us
Yeah.
talking.
Well, let us know. Look, anyone who's
Trash
watching
talking
here,
each other.
what do you want us to do? Do you want us to do something? I mean, I'm quite happy. I'm up for just reviewing or viewing a random movie which someone's going to recommend. I'll watch it and we'll sit here and have a talk about it and go, well, yeah, what do you think
Well,
of
you
that?
know that
lads?"
I'll get angry. I'll get all stressed.
Oh, it's all
You
right.
start laughing because you know I hate every movie. I'll pull it to bits no matter
That's
what
good.
it is.
That's what we want. And
an
I'll
angry man.
video all that.
Yeah. They have individual channels for the sake of me getting access to their stream. So when they stream on the during the week for the Xbox nights, they've got their individual channels. I then take their streams, I cut them all up, highlight them, and I put them together and upload it to Twitch and YouTube. And that's when you're going to see the currently Battlefield 4 headcam displays, Talbot, Nevin, and Kane. There's more Kane and Talbot footage at the moment, but Nevin's he's definitely with us for a couple of hours on a Thursday, so you'll see those. And I've got to get a Discord sorted as well. I don't even know how I would interact with Discord. I know how Discord works, but is it for after stream? Is it because it can't be during stream? Is it so you guys can all talk and swear at each other? I don't know what it's for. It's the in thing.
Come on, man.
I need a bit. I'm going to put a complaint in the tech department.
Yeah.
Which is funny enough. I think it's old Sea Dog is the tech department. Him and Bear. They want to come down here and airsoft. I don't know if they want to go to an actual airsoft site
Just
or they want to come down to
just
Cortex
airsoft
Studios
and just
and shoot
airsoft.
us.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Oh, what's your individual names? Ambitious Swine?
The dog just farted again, which is timing.
That's not a name.
that's not a name. Yeah, the dog just farted.
Well, that's something else you can look into. So I go by Kane. We've got Talbot and we've got Nevin here.
That's horrific. What is,
And,
has that dog been eaten?
Unfortunately, the border collie has just let go.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't love that one. That's intoxicating.
That's just-
I'm using the wrong word.
No, Nurgle's in the room, everyone.
Yes, pure myth and pure filth. Right, everyone. I'm going to have to do. Well, we're going to do a shoot now.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
unfortunately, yeah. As much as we love to chat, and this is we're gonna have to go, unfortunately. But this is great to see. I mean, this has made my day. Honestly, this has made our day. You know, all you guys being on here supporting. What a rude dog! Yeah, what a rude dog.
8 weeks old.
No manners at
Just
all.
full of fart.
Yeah. Bad.
Thanks very much. Everyone
Yeah.
be lucky. Thanks for the follows.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah, take care and watch my previous stuff. Love you all and catch you all later. See you Tuesday if you're going to be there. If you want to watch us, see us Tuesday for Battlefield.
We'll be
Sundays
back.
is RP. The rest of the time we're broadcasting Tuesdays and Thursdays at night, which will be 8 o'clock on the Tuesday, GMT, 7 o'clock GMT Thursday. That's Destiny 2 and Battlefield 4.
Yep.
So catch you all later. Thanks very much for the support.
Bye all.
Take care,
Love you.
everybody.
Say bye to Nana Linda, of course.
Linda, goodbye.
Goodbye.